Well, today was nice enough outside to sit out for, well, we only sat out for a handful of minutes, but and then Butthead Bella wanted to come in because it was too windy. Now he's roaming the halls, so he's happy. Um, Whoops, and I'm dumping stuff everywhere again. Hi. Yeah, I don't know how if you'd be able to hear it or not, Brooke, but the winds are really high out there today. So, like, if I would have done a live out back, it would have been probably difficult to hear me because the winds, would be flapping about. Oh, well, thank you, honey. That means a lot because I can't remember how much that fire opal ring was that I saw in it was a Pyramid Collection magazine. Now, Pyramid Collection, as far as I know, they still have a website. So if you want to check them out sometime, they got a lot of witchy stuff. It's www.pyramidcollection.com or something like that. And if you send them your name and address, say you set up an account on their website and you give them your name and address and stuff, they'll send you magazines. Like, I don't remember if it's once a month or one every couple of months. I think they kind of do things a little seasonal. Like, you might get a copy that's for, fall and winter, and then you might get a copy that's spring and summer. And I found some really cool finger armor there once, but it got broke. So I never was able to get another finger armor because, I mean, it literally covers almost your whole finger. I got my Gothic gown from there, which is purple with the bell sleeves, and it has black lace around the edge of the very edge of the sleeves, the very bottom. And it usually comes with a big long black cord, so you can kind of crisscross it around you a little bit and tie it. And the cord ended up wearing over time because I wore it so much, so I ended up clipping the original cord out of it, and I crocheted a cord and then hand sewed it in to the areas where the original cord was. And it was like that for a while, but I think something happened. It ended up coming loose and coming out of those areas, so I just didn't redo it. But that doesn't mean you couldn't still wear a belt with it, As a matter of fact, it would probably be a good idea to sew up the sides, so that it don't start like unraveling or something on me. But it was a fire. It was a fire. I think it was called a Fireburst fire opal ring, and I forget how much it was, but it was like really, really flippin' expensive, and something they only had there years ago, and I've never seen it again since, and it breaks my heart, is they had a pair of rings, finger rings that were Elvish love rings, and etched in Elvish on, I think it was the inside of the band or the outside of the band. It says, one ring to show our love, one ring to bind us, one ring to seal our love, and forever to entwine us. Ooh, pretty. I like that. That is so pretty. And it's a little key. I see it. I like that. That is so pretty. So yeah, it was the Elvish love rings. They had them in sterling silver, I believe, and they had them in real gold. Now, if you buy them in the real gold set, those are expensive for sure. And my opal, if you end up giving me that one that you sent me the picture of, I'll probably put it on this chain with these, and it'll never come off that chain. even if it means I'll wear the chain forever, because I would be crushed if I lost it. Um, but yeah, it was a real pretty. The fire opal was, let's see, how would you describe the size of the stone? I want to say it was maybe roughly the size of a dime, maybe a little bigger though. Yeah, that one's fine. That one, I like that. That's really pretty. And thank you again, because I just hope it likes me, because it's a fire opal. Because and I'm not a fire sign technically, but I'll love it anyway, irregardless. But it's because it's a fire opal, it may have a lot of fire energy to it. Which, I mean, yeah, I can have a very not fiery temper. Well, yeah, I can. When I get mad, man, I can get really mad. But yeah, the ring, the opal ring was pretty. It was can't remember how much that thing was, but I know it was a lot. It was expensive. It was like, I want to say between $40 and $60 or some crazy shit. It was really ridiculous expensive, and so I gave up. That I was ever going to get it. But I guess that's kind of why I gravitated towards the opalites, because yeah, I know they're not real opals, they're man-made, and that kind of kills it. But yes, same here. You know me. I mean, look, I'm still wearing my little bottle, my little heart bottle, and I love it. If you can and you have an extra one, bring me a little empty heart bottle again, and hopefully this time it won't get broke, because I'm sure I got some crystal bits or something that I could find that would be small enough to fit it in there. And then I could either wear it on here with this one, and then I would just like have it over here on the other side of my green man. Still waiting on the packages, and at least we know they're coming. We know that there's a lot of packages coming, so we know to watch for them. This is the wedding day wax melt. I melted it down last night, and I really loved it. I thought it was really pretty. It had a really pretty scent. And I still have my cauldron sitting out because I love the smell of that. It is so, just aromatherapy and stuff like that. And that's what I love about it. So, yay. And, just like Alicia, I've given Alicia a lot of jewelry in the past, because I know she loves purple, so I would give her purple jewelry. Like, I had this real pretty watch that was fake purple stones or whatever, and I never wore it, and it kind of felt weird on my wrist. It was round, but it kind of had a flat round to it. It's hard to describe, but I ended up giving it to Alicia one night. She was leaving from here, one of her visits with us, and I just gave it to her. I said, "Here, honey," I said, "I know you like purple." I said, "It don't run. The battery's dead, but she could always go out and get a battery if she wanted, so she could wear it as a watch again." But it just didn't feel right on my wrist. So I was like, why not? I'll go ahead and give it to my daughter, because I know she would love that. Oh, boy. I keep looking at my cauldron, and I'm like, come on, Janet, you can do this. It's wax, for goodness sake. Quit being so silly about cutting it up to melt it down. For real. And I did take a picture of it. I don't remember if I took a picture of the little wedding day one before I melted it, but each time I get ready to melt one of the pieces down, I always take a picture of it. So that way I can always have the picture at least, And what I have left now is the giant. It's one of the, I guess you call it the giant bar. And it's the cow pal one, or cow pole, or whatever you said was it was like the medicine, a certain medicine they have there in the UK that they give children. I still have the Nova. I haven't done that one yet, because I want to get my other ones done first. And here it says Deja Voodoo. And remember that little critter? Oh, and it smells so good. So that one is probably one that will be burnt next. And I've been saving my salted caramel. I'm not sure when I'm going to burn it, because it's kind of, like I would have to be in a certain mood to burn it to really be able to enjoy the scent of it. Not to mention it's liable to start giving me a craving of caramel or something. See my new crystals I got today. I saw a couple of them. I know you showed like a real big one that you had, and I don't remember if you showed a smaller one or not. And this, of course, is what's left of Rexy Kitty. I've only taken his ears off. But there's like this really big crystal that's visible right now, right here in the top. See it? And I probably could pluck that out of there with not too much trouble. Let me see. Nope, it's in there pretty good. I'm going to have to melt it down. But yeah, my poor Rexy Kitty. That's all that's left of him. But, he's got some crystal bits there, it looks like, too. So, right there on his little nose. And oh, yeah, I think I did. I think I did see those. Those were really pretty. But I'm like, I'm gonna, because the cauldron is so big, and I know I'm gonna have to. I figured, like cutting it in half should be plenty. Or do you think I should cut it in like even smaller sections than that? Like cut it in half right down the middle, and then cut it in maybe a couple of other smaller pieces to make sure that it don't overflow. When I put it in whatever burner I end up burning it in. Quarters, okay. Yeah, because it is a big one. So I want to do it right because I want to do it justice, and it's, I don't know if I don't think I've ever seen anything like those around here, in the States. Yeah, it is. It's massive, all right. It's like, oh my goodness. My one pup that I'm allowing myself today. And then after it's gone, I've been trying to kind of drink more like more water. Really, really trying to cut down on the sweet, so much sugar intake. And it's kind of funny because I remember years ago when Alicia was a kid and she went through her candy phase where she liked candy way, 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 way too much for my liking. And I said, if you don't quit with the candy, you're going to develop diabetes. You're going to become diabetic. And she said, nuh-uh. She said, Mom, that ain't the way diabetes happens. She said, whoever told you that didn't know what they were talking about. But I always had a feeling, no, you're going to because part of what I feel causes diabetic is, yes, it can be genetic. If it runs in the family, especially say like the women of the family, then it's very good probable that you will get it. But turns out here we are years later, and it has been found out and proven that yes, you can make yourself diabetic by too much sugar intake. And I was like, what was that about? You won't become diabetic if you don't cut back on the sugar. I'm going through that right now, my dear daughter. I am pre-diabetic, so I'm like right on the borderline of diabetic. So I'm like, no. I don't want to have to take insulin shots every day. I don't want to. I don't even want to think about the pain I would have to go through of keeping my medications down me and what kind of medications they would probably try to put me on to manage and combat the diabetes as much as possible. So, but I just thought it was funny and ironic that I found out years later that yes, you can develop diabetes from too much sugar. Yeah, exactly. And there have been way too many times when like this around this area on my side right here where my hand is, it would start hurting. And I'm like, uh-oh, okay, what is that organ there and why is it hurting? Because it's usually random when it does, but it may be my body saying, if you don't cut back on the sugar, I'm going to stop working. And I don't want to end up in the hospital, and scaring the hell out of everybody because I have to go in for some emergency surgery or die. Yeah, I don't want to go through that. I don't want to put anybody through that, none of my kids, none of my friends, none of my family. I don't want to. especially knowing how hard it was for me when I finally, was able to get my surgery. When I finally broke down and said, okay, I need to overcome this fear once and for all of being cut on, because if I don't, then I'm doing myself a far worse um uh putting myself in a far worse situation that I was slowly bleeding to death, because when I would cycle every month, I was losing a pint of blood every month, and my skin got so pale. I guess I didn't notice it, but others did. And it's like I was literally slowly bleeding to death, and it just scared the hell out of me. So I was like, you know what, Janet, you either get it done or slowly bleed to death. And there was some pretty big clots, blood clots that came out of me that scared me even more. And I'm like, that's it, I'm done, I'm getting cut, I don't care, I want this out of me, I don't want to die. That would be a horrible way to die. So I was glad when I finally got it done. Oh, I bet. Yeah, I know, honey, believe me, because I know when I had mine, usually when I would cramp, mine would be so bad that it literally felt like someone was taking a big knife, and going, and then slicing my damn stomach open. That's how bad it was for me. When I would cramp, it was god awful. It was god awful, especially if I tended to feel it more in my back. Yeah, it does. It's awful. You know, and they say that, a lot of women by the age of 50, and I know you're a long ways off from that, but by the age of 50 their cycle like slows down a lot. But what I had was called DUB, dysfunctional uterine bleeding, and it was a struggle, it was a nightmare, and I was definitely relieved when I finally did overcome my fear of being cut on and just got it done, because I only have 5 holes, scars in my stomach where they just did it with a little laser, so they just cut me open, very little really, and got it out, I guess with some kind of, I don't know, suction tool, or I'm not sure how exactly, but I know she had to cut me down under my stomach where it flops over, which I hate. So I have to be real careful about keeping that extra clean down there, because otherwise bacteria can form and that can cause you trouble too. And I don't want that, because like when I'm sweating a lot, especially, it'll itch. And I try not to actually scratch it, because I mean, look at my nails. They could do some damage. And I don't want to actually, like cut myself or scratch myself or something, because then the bacteria, it's going to make it worse. So I try to keep it clean. I need to get me some, I don't know what they call them. I call them like belly wraps, but they're not really. They don't go around your whole stomach, but you can wear it like under the area where it's folded over on me, and then it absorbs the sweat and stuff, and it keeps you from having to suffer and go through that so much. So, but anyway, oh, Pops was nice and got some little rice cup thingies today. They're only probably about yay big, single serving roughly, and it's like a quick fix. Like if he's getting ready to make dinner or something, and I'm really really hungry, but I don't want to overeat, then I'll go ahead and I can fix one of my little rice cups and just munch that. Give my tummy something to munch on until the dinner's done. He gets dinner done. Uh-oh, crack kitties. Look at the crack kitties. Daddy giving them their treatsies. Giving them their drugs. That's what it's like to them, because they're so spoiled and addicted to them. Bella's on the table going, hey, what about me, old man? Get your butt over there, boy. There you go. I call it the crack kitty romp, when they, because you'll see them like jumping over each other and just all kinds of acrobatics, trying to get in here fast enough to be able to get their treats. I call it their drugs, because they're so addicted to them, and Pops has got them so damn spoiled. I've never in my entire life of having cats before him and I got together. I have never done that to any cats I've had, to where you literally give them treats every single day. I mean, not that it's necessarily really a bad thing. It's just, it can get pricey because the containers that we get are usually around about this tall, and they're pretty big, pretty square. They're square, but they're pretty decent size, and you get a lot in it. But when you've got 4 cats that you're giving them to, and worse yet, once we move into the house, whatever house we end up getting, then there's going to be 8 of them that we can't very well just give our 4 treats every day and not the other 4. You know, I mean, that's not fair. That's not right. I wouldn't do that to a human child. I'm not about to do it to our cats. So that's going to, but on the bright side there, we're all 3 going to be able to have a lot more of our checks, a lot more of our money to us that we can do those things with, so we can stock up on them. You know, make sure we have plenty of litter, make sure we have plenty of food, make sure we have plenty of, you know, litter boxes for all of them. So that way, if one of them wants to go to the bathroom and all the other litter boxes are taken, they have one that they can go into. So in my opinion, you know, as extreme as this may sound to some people, we might as well get 8 litter boxes. So that way each cat has a litter box. No matter which one of them's using the litter box, there's always going to be one open for one of the others, you know. But yeah, I was just thinking of that today about the YMCA thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe it took me as long as it did to say, oh, I got to tell Brooke, you know, bring a bathing suit. Because that way they do have an indoor pool, but it's several. Because like a lot of athletes and stuff that are swimmers or whatever, they will train. They will go there to train. So there's like several swimming pools. It's not just one big swimming pool. There's separate ones. And it's like, you'll love it. So that way, you know, as long as it's not too busy, whatever particular days that we go, then you can just, my favorite thing is just to float. When I'm done doing the hot tub, soaking in the hot tub for a few minutes, you know, 10 to 15 minutes, get up, you know, walk around a bit, let your body acclimate to the temperature around you inside the facility, and then climb into one of the swimming pools, and then just float on your back. And just, it is so relaxing and so calming. And you're a Pisces, so I know you got to love water. But they don't heat the pool. So I will warn you now, it is going to be cold. You know, once you're going to have to get used to it. Like some people, just to get it done and over with quickly, and I've done this myself before, they will just literally jump in just all at once, jump into the pool, get over the shock, and then come back up, and then they're fine. It's like you instantly blend with the coolness, doesn't bother you anymore. But if you do it, like say you sit on the side of the pool and you dangle your feet over, you know, and you get your feet used to it, and then sometimes people will, like, slowly they'll put a little bit more of their body in there to where like it's up to their waist, and then lastly, you know, just dive under the water, get it done. You know, the outside pool, you can still see it, but it's only open during the summer, unfortunately. But at least the bright side, look at my hair, it keeps going everywhere. The bright side with that is, unless you are a member there, you will not be able to swim in that pool, because they have lifeguards out there like you're supposed to anyway. And if somebody was to try and climb the fence or whatever, they're going to get shredded, because I don't remember if they have like actual barbed wire around the top. But there's going to be somebody out there, and even if the pool isn't open or they close it down for the day, you better believe that they're going to be watching. They're going to have cameras. If they don't already, they probably do. They're going to have the cameras going, and somebody's better be sitting in that office watching the cameras to make sure somebody isn't trying to climb into it, you know, that don't belong there because they don't have a membership. And I just hope that the membership is about, you know, the same as it has been before, about the 30 something range, because the cost of living's going up. Everything else is going through the roof. I may walk in there and it may cost me $40 to get a membership. I hope not, but whatever it takes, I'm going to do it irregardless because I need to do this for me. I need to do this to better my health, to make healthy choices, healthy decisions, start like pack a lunch or something. Got these freaking spots on my chest. Pack a lunch or something, healthy snackables like some, fresh fruit or some, like a veggie kind of cheese little thing that you can pack. They do have vending machines there that I think have some of those things, healthy snacks, because they do have a lot of kids there. So we'll make sure and like give you the grand tour and take you around all the different areas. They have a couple of different rooms in there that they have. A lot of times they'll have like low impact, like exercise things you can do, which the low impact is a lot easier for me until I bring my weight down better. And it's not as stressful. But as far as any exercising or anything like that, you're pretty much on your own, because I asked somebody one time how much it would cost to get a fitness coach, and it's pricey. You would literally have to pay out of your pocket, which I can't afford to do. So it's a matter of getting myself in the healthy habit and the consistency of going, a couple times a week if I can, or even if it's just once a week, just to save on gas and, different things like that, you wear and tear on the car. And especially if there's a particular week where it's like really super busy, then I'm going to have to pick a day out of that week that no appointments are going on so that I can have the car. And because Maria also has a membership herself, she should have 5 guest passes as well. And then I have 5. So that's a total of 10 guest passes. Guest. So Chris, him and I went in there one time and tried to get a membership, but because of his record, and what he got charged with the CP stuff, if you remember what I'm talking about, it really messed him up. And because they have kids there all the time, they wouldn't allow him to do it. They wouldn't allow him to have a membership. So he wasn't able to get one, which is unfortunate because, he could stand to lose some too. And, getting yourself healthier and stuff it's a process, just like anything in life, but it's also a commitment. So I've got to find, a variety of ways to keep myself motivated so that I keep doing it, because I don't want to just like do it for a short time and then stop, because then you're undoing all the good you just did, trying to, get those muscles used to being worked and stuff like that, and being more active and more productive and everything. Whew. But yeah, at least, the God and Goddess have blessed us with a nice day today. And, we can sit here with the window open and not feel like we're freezing and just enjoy, the summer-like day. Because tomorrow, I guess it's going to go back to being icky again. So then that won't be so fun. Just going back to my main screen. Clearing out some of my the notifications, because if I don't keep them cleared out, they get ridiculous. And I probably won't put another wallpaper on my phone until March, and when it hits March 1st. So when you're here, I will go into my Zedge wallpaper ringtone thing and find me a nice wallpaper for St. Patrick's Day, because that'll be, March is the month of St. Patrick's Day. And right now I'm think I will go in and make me a one of my rice cup things, because I'm pretty hungry and I've already had cereal today, so I don't want to eat cereal and end up running out of that because then we're going to have to go to the store and get more. But I'll bring you with me. Whoops! Setting you on the stove, so don't turn the burners on, okay? Okay. We'll do a chicken and oib. Chicken and herb. Okay, let me see. Ah! Bitch. See, just a tiny little cup, single serving, 1 minute, it's ready to go. 1 minute in the microwave. Ooh, Pops cleaned up the microwave. We got some clean microwave again. There we go. Set you up there so you can see better. When it's done cooking, I turn it, I dump it in a bowl and eat it that way. It's less messy. Oochie, achi, oochie, ooch, ooch. Ha ha. Put a little tiny bit of butter in it to give it a little bit more of some better flavor. Hey, Kalika, you waiting on mommy? She's probably like, maybe. There, I'll set you there. That way if Brat Kitty decides that she wants on mommy's lap. For this rice, I thank you now. As it sustains me, please allow your blessings on these gifts in me, as I will Samoda P. I was going to put some cheese on it too, but then I thought, nah, I don't want to open the cheese because neither one of them's open. I am so mad at Google right now, though. After everything that Dad went through to get my main laptop, functional again and not running so slow and stuff, I tried to get on my Sims 3 game yesterday. Couldn't do it. I even created a new EA account. Still couldn't get on. Tried to get into my Janelle Mabia's channel on YouTube. Couldn't get into it. I was getting really mad. And I didn't want to bother Pops with it because, you know, he was playing his game and stuff. I wanted him to enjoy his game. But I was getting really, really mad. So bless him, he stopped his game, came in, tried to fix it. And he said, dear, he said, it's not, he said, there's nothing I can do. He said, it's Google. Google messing up. So it just really angers me all the time that he invested to get that one going again. And I still can't get into my stuff that I want to get into. That's one way, but the only problem with that is I would be afraid that if I attempted that I would end up losing a lot of stuff on my main laptop that I don't want to lose and that I wouldn't be able to get back. Because like when updates, a lot of times when we do updates on computers and stuff, it will mess up the function of other programs to the point that you even lose stuff. You can, you know, because the updates just mess things up. So then you do have to end up going back in and doing some type of a reset just so you can get back to using it whatever way you use it typically. I know that YouTube has a feature on here. That's Bella. Boo baby. He's over there laying on the chair you always sit on when you're here. Where you can add an account, YouTube. So I might try that and see if I can maybe get my Janelle account in this computer so that way I can switch between the two. Yeah, probably. And sadly, I don't have any device I could do that I could safely put it on. So that I could factory reset it and not lose stuff. As ridiculous as prices are of things nowadays, it's better. If you can do a sort of a quick fix on the computer you already have. But personally, truthfully, I just think I need another laptop. Because I look at it this way, what am I going to do if I lose my Chromebook? if I lose my Chromebook, then I won't have any way to YouTube nothing anymore, because the Chromebook is not designed, I don't think, for everything I'm expecting of it. Everything I make it do, and I think it just, my fear is that it's going to go through it too quickly, and replacing a laptop right now would not be an option. Excuse me. Now, once we get moved, um, once we get the all clear, rather, so that Dad can start bidding on houses and actually get us one, buy one, which will also allow us immediate occupancy. So as soon as the papers are signed, the deed is done, the payment is paid, they better have the keys ready to give us to be able to get in and all that. But because of the degree of stuff we have and the amount of stuff we have, because we're not just taking one apartment worth of stuff, we're taking this apartment, we're taking Maria's apartment, and all the stuff down in storage in the building here, and also the stuff of mine that's still over at Mom and Jim's storage unit. So that's going too, because Jim pays, I'm pretty sure it's like over $200 a month just to keep that damn storage unit paid. So Mom don't lose any of her stuff, and Jim don't lose any of his stuff, because if Mom lost her stuff, she'd be devastated, especially if she lost any of her dolls, because she's got a lot of Paradise Gallery dolls that, and I'm not talking Barbies, I'm talking, like ceramic and stuff, and very, very monetarily valuable. I would hate to see her lose any of that. So it's going to take an awful lot just to get moved. And I certainly hope that we can do it in one trip, so that we don't have to keep coming back and coming back and coming back. And Pop said something about getting some kind of a pull behind trailer, as well as the biggest truck they have that we can rent. And then, of course, there's the matter of Grandma, because she is already not happy that we're moving at all. But I have to trust and have faith that Dad will try to keep us reasonably as close to Mom and Jim as he can. But we'll still be in another city, somewhere in Virginia maybe, or something like that. And I try to melt these more than once too, so I can, really enjoy them for as long as possible. And Scully in the bedroom right now, I don't have a candle in him. And there's a lot smaller of an amount of wax that has, that's sitting in that burner rather. But it was really cool, because when it was melting, after it had melted, it had that beautiful shimmery, sparkly, look to it and everything. And it was like a moving picture, like you could literally just stare at it, and you would see all different kinds of shapes and stuff form. It was cool as heck. I was like, oh wow. And I kept seeing a stick figure that, had like really, really super long arms, really super long legs. Stick figures, people draw them different ways. But one of the things that came to my mind, the first to the top of my mind, was the stick figures that show up when you have an LS unit, which, in case you don't know what that is, it is, I don't know if it's a software thing that you have to get or what, but it's something that you have to get. You have to put it on a computer. You have to carry it around on a little shelf, basically with a hand grip thing. And it's called like an SLS or something like that. And what it does is when there is a spirit present, you will suddenly see a stick figure appear on your screen and it'll be moving around. And that was the type of stick figure I saw when I looked into the wedding day one. Is it was, once it melted down, it was completely liquid. I was like, oh wow. And it was just fascinating, to watch. So I can imagine what the excuse me, what the cauldron's going to do, right? It's going to have its own little show, I'm sure. Oh, and I'm so proud of this. The little things, which a lot of us take for granted. And I certainly don't mean to every time that I have, but I figured out the very simple process of how I can transfer money from my PayPal into my Capital One. So I finally did get the 15 that you sent give me for the wand. I got it transferred to my Capital One, and I only had like 19 something because I had a few dollars on there still, and I've only got like 9 something I think in my savings on there right now. But come March 1st, it will automatically, once my check is loaded, it will automatically take 25 out of my checking and put it in my savings. So then that'll bring it back up to a little over 30 something or somewhere around there. Anyway, so I transferred the 15 and added it with the other that I had on the Capital One, and I had 19 something. And I was like, what can I use this for? And I kept taking my time and really, like going through some different things on Amazon, on my wish list, low cost, that the amount would be enough with taxes and shipping and handling, if there was any, to be able to order a couple more items. And I did. I ordered the Zodiac necklaces that I was telling you about that I was doing. It's resin molds for the Zodiac necklaces. So that'll be another fun one to do. And I have this, what was the other thing I got? I need to look on my phone. Because there was like 2 things that I bought. So let me go ask it to show me my orders. Show me my most recent Amazon orders.
Here is the latest status of your order.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I don't know how big I'm going to be able to bring this up, but I'll try. I'll definitely have to bring the computer up here so I can do this right. And hopefully get it at the right angle so you can see them. These are the resin Zodiac necklaces I'm talking about. Now, granted, I don't know if it comes with any chains or anything that you can put them on. But as you can see, they look like little coins, but it's each of the Zodiac signs. And Capricorn is this one right here. And it was only $5.99 for those. And I also got these for my mani-pedi so I can start getting a lot of the dry skin off my feet. And it is a 4-pack of them. And it was only $7.99. So I thought those are doable because I'm really anxious, as you know, about having a decent versatility like you do with the type of stuff that I have in my shop. What will be my shop, our shop, combined shop or whatever. I want to have a versatility of things. I don't want to have just a handful of things. I want to at some point be able to get some unique items in that you can't really find, very easily, and get them hopefully at a good price and everything like that. Um, so I'm real excited about those. They're probably not going to be very big. They're looking like they're going to probably be in the neighborhood of about as big as the witch coins that I got in the in the other mold that I call 'em my witch coins. But I was like, okay, I think this will work. And then I went ahead and I took the roller off of this one, the old one, and threw it away because there was just no reason to keep it. And then you press this, and then you pull down, and that's where your batteries go. Takes a couple of AA batteries. And we do, I think, still have some around here, but oh, help if I did it right. Yeah, Janet, break it, and you got the rollers coming. And so if you catch me looking out back a lot, it's just I'm still kind of trying to watch for any delivery trucks that might come about. Because we got all these packages coming. And I haven't got any notifications, and I'm pretty pissed off about my Green Man and Green Woman molds that it said on my phone recently they were coming today. And the molds aren't going to be so big that they have to come in a gigantic, package. It might be something that the regular postal mail can bring. I don't know. But if it's a package that for whatever reason the delivery person has to bring, I'm hoping that one, will either be able to get into the building, or two, I will see them, in which case I run down the steps and I open the door and go, yeah, you got packages for apartment H. I always say our apartment just automatically. And even if it's not our apartment, if it's one of the others in our building, I bring it in anyway. And I just set it in front of the door of the person that it belongs to. Or they put it if the package is small enough, they know that small packages can be put in the grill that we have out back. Trying not to say that too loud because I don't want eavesdroppers hearing me, and I doubt they can hear me all the way up here, but just in case. So, they can just lift up the grill on the back porch because it never gets used or anything, and they can just put it in there and either leave us a note or something letting us know that that's where they put it. Because, yeah, we don't want our stuff walking off. But I need to figure out. My hellhound she's wanting me to wear her. But that would look pretty on this ring. As a matter of fact, she'd probably sit right on it. Would you look at that? That's my hellhound. She fits perfectly on it. All right, sweetie. I'll try to put you on a chain by itself. I'll put it on a chain by itself, and she's real pretty. She actually showed herself to me one time in a dream, and I think this was it either before or after we went to the bus depot and picked up Maria when she came back from New York. I'm trying to think of a place. No, I'm going to put the original back on it. It's just I was curious, and I was like, yep, sure enough, she fits on there just fine. But well, I have another ring band around here that used to have a little piece of turquoise in it. I never found the turquoise. It fell out, and it was supposed to be my white arts vessel that I got from Creepy Hollows, and I haven't gotten on there and got a replacement yet because I'm thinking, okay, are they even going to do replacements anymore? And if they do, I think they actually charge, and I don't know what the price is, and I'm still trying to learn how to navigate their site because of the changes they've made. But right now I'm trying to think of where I can set this, set it down on its face like Pop suggested, and then do the glue from behind in the hopes that it'll seep down through there and it'll hold it in place. Because wherever I decide to set it or put it or whatever, it's going to have to be somewhere that it will not be disturbed. And I don't have to worry about the gluing it to something and then I have to tug on it or something to get it off, which could cause it to break off of there all over again. It's like, oh, crap. So just kind of looking around, trying to get an idea of a safe place that I could maybe set it. Because I want to wear my ring, darn it, and maybe I'll find a ring band or something somewhere that I can glue her onto it or into it or whatever and be able to wear that too, because she's such a small bead. This is like basically it's a little Pandora bead, but she's black and white, just black and white, regular looking dog. She's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And she, in the dream, she suddenly materialized out of nowhere and literally bounded off the bus. The very bus, at least so it seemed to me in the dream, the very bus that Maria got off at when we went and picked her up at the bus station when she got back from New York. And I thought, oh, wow. I've never owned a black and white dog that looks even remotely anything like her. And it's definitely nice to have a hellhound on your side, because that way I remind myself of all the spirits that I have through Creepy Hollows. Nobody's going to bother me. I am protected when I go out. Phlegm in my throat for some reason. So I try to find ways to, I'll carry a pouch of my crystals with me. I'll carry a pouch of my vessels just to give that extra little bit of protection and also give them something to feed off of, because they feed off of crystals. They feed off the energy of crystals, a lot of them. And sadly, to change topic for a minute, I think my orchids are dying because the petals are drooping, and I had one complete flower break off literally yesterday when I put the little water globe thing in it. That's really hard to fill because the hole is so tiny that you have to get the water in to get it in the bulb part. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I'll try to turn it around where, okay, you see the orchids? Do you see that? You can't really see that there's like a yellow thing sticking out of it that has like a round look to it. It's a self-watering system that can water a plant up to 5 days. It's uniquely designed so that only when the plant or flower actually needs water will the water come out of the globe. It has a very thin stem that is the part that you have to get the water in, and I had a heck of a time getting the water in it. But the water will stay inside the bulb. It has I think it's some type of a, don't ask me how, but it has a type of an oxygen sensor that lets it know when the plant needs water or when the flower needs a drink, and then it will let out, a certain amount of water or whatever, to water it, to give it a drink. So you don't have to water it as often, and you can water a plant up to 5 days with it. Now, if and when I finally get me some orchid food and I get a little bit more knowledge of how to take care of orchids more properly, which I've only watched, I don't think I even watched the complete video. I've only watched really maybe one or two videos so far on YouTube about orchids and orchid care. And right now, as I'm looking at it, I see another green leaf on the bottom that's drooping. out of the pot that's turning yellow, so it's dead. I'm hoping that at least maybe these will be worth keeping, even though the flowers fall off. I'm hoping enough of it will survive because it has these little nubs that stick out on the stems, and it talked about it in the YouTube videos that as long as that you treat that a certain way and it's nice and healthy and still got life in it, another flower will blossom from that spot. When we move to the new place, whenever that's going to be, I'm hoping that I'll be able to, like, maybe, I don't know, put it in a greenhouse or something, or find a room in the house that where I can keep the door closed so I don't have to worry about, having to set it up on a really high shelf or something to keep the cats from getting it. Um, but I took the flower that fell off and I put it in my little cauldron on the altar to give as an offering to the goddess, and begging and pleading with the spirits, please help me, salvage it. And I don't want to just watch it die. Um, so I need to learn how to take care of them right, so that they will, last longer and stuff. But what I was thinking is if I could mix up a solution with a dropper myself, which would be a painstaking way to do it, but mix up a solution of the food, make sure it's the right amount and everything, use filtered water or spring water, and get it in the globe, fill up the little bulb in the bottom, which is the bottom part of the globe, which is the main thing that you need to fill up. And then that way, when it waters it, it also feeds it. Mix some of the orchid food in with it. Because like right now, I've got some indoor plant food that's like a foam. It's in a bottle and it's got a pump thing to it. So you press the pump thing and a bit of foam will come out, but it's food for the. I don't know if it's something that would be safe to put on the orchids. So I'm a little afraid to try it also because it's so old that if you put something on that is old, it might not do it any good. It might end up doing the opposite. It might kill it quicker. So it's gonna take a lot to learn you know how to salvage it, and I can't wait to grow me some belladonna. Oh my gosh. I don't know what it is about that plant that I love so much, but I do, and it loves me because I don't think I ever finished the story about what the belladonna lutea did. It Yes, yes, thank you. That's a wonderful idea. That would be a nice way to preserve them, especially in the coaster, the cloud coasters, because those, especially the big ones, those would be ideal for something like that. And I plan on getting some other molds later that, I will make sure that I do it clear. I won't put any coloring in the resin or anything. I'll just do it clear, and then I'll seal put the flower in the mold, whatever side I want facing up, which obviously it's going to be facing down, inside the mold, so that when I peel it out, then when you look at it, you see the flower. Um, and I've always wanted to do that too. I've always wanted to learn how to dry and press flowers and stuff like a lot of people do. Um, so I'm trying to kind of keep an eye, and for any that I do happen to see fall off, I will try to get over there to them quickly, get them picked up, put them in a container or something. Um, you know, um, Find one of my little silica packs to keep the moisture out of it so they don't rot, and at least, kind of preserve them that way a little bit, because I don't know if these are true blue orchids. Put them in a book to flatten it. Yes, yes, that's a good idea, and I definitely have. And I know that's what a lot of people will do. They'll put them in a book. So I'll have to find one that has a decent weight to it, because you kind of need a certain amount of weight. You don't want the book to be too thin, because then it ain't going to do any good. Um, so let me see. What surface can I put this on? Hmm. Okay, where did I put that? It's right here. I think I'll go ahead and use this and just hope that this works, That's what I'm going to have to do. Basically, I'm going to have to turn it upside down. I want to make sure it's centered right. I'll have to literally, this is going to be tricky because, because I don't think it's, no, the band is not going to stay on there, so I'm literally going to have to hold the band in place until I can get, a small bead of the glue on the underside of it. God has helped me do this right the first time. This is going to be difficult because I feel like the best way to do this is I'm using both my hands, my pointer finger and my thumb on each hand to hold the ring in place, hold the ring band in place until it starts drying and starts turning the classic color that it turns. I just hope I got it centered good on here. Trying to dry it quicker. Okay. I'm just very tenderly, gently holding it in place because the glue is already adhering the band onto it. If I can just hold it steady long enough for the glue to dry enough that I don't have to worry about it falling back off or oh crap. Okay, come on. This is the tedious part. Just trying not to move. Yeah, it's going numb already. This would have been much better if I would have had some Loctite glue. that dries a lot quicker than this stuff. This is really hard. Man, I wish I had one of my energy drinks because I'm feeling sleepy again. The reason why I say I'm not sure if these are actually blue orchids or if they did something to it during the growing process that made them come out blue, which is some of what I watched in the few videos that I have seen on YouTube so far about it. Wish there was something I could put in here that I could lean it up against, like a small crystal or something, but then I would run the risk of gluing it to the crystal, and I don't want to do that. Because I have no idea. I've never timed how long it takes this stuff to dry. So and I may have to glitterify it a little bit. Because when the glue dries, if some of it gets on, say, the front of the stone, rather than run the risk of pulling the crystal off the band again, I'll probably just take some of my glitter nail polish and just dab it real good so it'll look glittery, and hopefully it won't. It'll just be just a little bit coming up on the sides, but you'll still be able to see the majority of the ring.
You chilling by the window, huh?
She's on. It's an adjustable ring as well, so it can be any size to fit any finger. I know. Because my choice of finger to wear it on is I would rather wear it on my like ring finger on my right hand or something. No, don't fall over, don't fall over. Crap. Damn it. I was trying to lean it up against the inside of the tin to where it would still stay face down for the most part, but it would stay upright, you know.
This quest is taking a little longer than most of them. I thought I was going to be able to do it fairly quickly. I think I'm close to the end of
Wish
it.
there was something I
Start
could
on dishes and then
put in here to help hold it up, you know.
Did you hear me?
Hmm. Something about dishes and dinner, but I didn't hear all of it.
I said this quest.
Oh, it was taking longer.
It's taken longer than most of them. I thought I was going to be able to finish it before now, but
Yeah.
well, I guess I could go ahead and exit out and go ahead and start on that now because I found out something earlier today. If you don't finish a quest, it doesn't make you start from the very beginning if you log out.
No. Yeah.
It saves you. It saves certain checkpoints, and you only start from the last checkpoint you finished.
Uh-huh.
So you don't have to do the whole thing all over again.
Nope. To literally, I'll have to hold it in place. Just wish that the super glue wasn't sealed in its tube because you can't get the lid off of it. The only way I'd be able to get it off is I'd have to cut it, and that would just make more of a mess than I want to deal with. Not to mention, I'd probably get it all over my skin. Don't want to glue my fingers together. That would be awful. Kind of just came up with an interesting idea, but I don't know if I can pull it off or not. If I could get this to sit long enough. Another possibility, and I have done this before with my little money box. Uh-oh. To help give it maybe a little bit more stability. Shit. And that's to drip wax on it. So while the glue is sitting, the wax will help hold it in place. Okay, come on. If I can manage to do this without burning myself, I would be amazed. Come on. Okay. Thank you. I'm hoping this works. Show her to Brooke or him.
You can see his front half. Get mommy.
Hi, baby. There's double baby. Hi, baby boy. How you doing? Well, hopefully that did it. Hopefully the wax will be just enough, to hold it in place. And since I got a tea light lit here, I might as well not waste it. So I put it in my... Oh no, come on. Uh-oh. There we go. Done. Now I just got to hold it. Just got to hold it like this. And I'm glad I noticed before the glue really, started solidifying. It had turned itself in a weird angle. But I think the glue is hopefully it's gelling up enough that I can hold it like this now and it's not falling off. Come on. Yep, it's good now. All I have to do is hold on to it until the glue dries. And I'll be able to tell when it does because it'll get that classic like kind of white color that it gets. And then I'll just, like I said, doctor it up with some of the glitter nail polish so the glue don't look so god awful on it, Yay, I got it fixed. But yeah, what I ended up doing was when I made my money box, I glued one of the witch coins on the top of it, as you know, and it's the Triquatra. It's one of the black ones that I did that has all the pretty glitter in it and stuff. And I because the lid had some holes in the top of it, I took some wax, candle wax, and just dripped it in there. And it works, There. So now just hold this until I can tell that the glue's pretty much dry and it's, safe to wear it again. Because if you put it on too soon, you're going to glue it to your finger. I don't want to glue it to my finger. That would be bad because then I'm liable to end up taking off skin if I tried to take it off. I mean, I might be able to like put my hand in like hot water or something as hot as I can stand, and it might be enough to dislodge it. Because apparently when it comes to like super glue, that's one of the ways that you can get it to dislodge is hot. It has to have a certain heat to it, or set, like, I don't know, burn it, set it on fire, which probably would be bad because you don't want to be breathing in the fumes from that because that could be bad, and I don't want to think about what that could do to somebody's lungs, and I definitely don't want to be responsible for somebody getting hurt like that. Okay. You know, some glues, if you blow on it, it helps it dry quicker. But I don't know if Gorilla Glue is one of those or not. So I have to keep switching.
That's the knife I was talking about.
It is?
Yep.
Oh, shit. Because I thought it was this one, so I'm glad you pointed out to me the right knife.
Which one?
Because this is also Cooking Club. I thought you were talking about
Oh,
that
no.
one. So you're lucky you pointed out to me the right knife
This is the one we take
that we use on the picnics a lot. Yeah.
because it's got.
This is the wax cutter knife that he was talking about. And like I just said, you know, I'm glad that he pointed it out to me because I literally thought it was the other one because this one's from the Cooking Club too. See the symbol on it? Right there. Try to bring it in real close. See? That was the Cooking Club thing, the membership that I had. So I'm glad he pointed out. It's like, oh, snap. Because if I would have used that other one, the wrong one, and cut wax with it, he probably would have been like, what did you do that for? He'd have a zoo on me. Instead of just saying have a cow, meaning throw a fit, you know, I say have a zoo. So that's like more than one animal. Okay, I think I'm starting to see the glue in certain spots is starting to turn
That one,
white or whatever. Mm-hmm.
it needs to go down in the
Yeah, the bag that we keep all the utensils in and the bowls and the cups and all that. Yeah, we got nice, you know, like little picnic set thing that it was just it's some plastic dishes. You get plastic silverware, you get bowls, you get cups, and it comes in handy. And you know me, I like my bright colors, so I tried to find some colors that were like more or less two different shades of colors because Pops don't like certain shades of colors, and he's okay with what we ended up choosing.
Yeah. Plus the fact that a lot of times we do it kind of spur of the moment.
Yeah.
So we keep a kit in the car so we're ready.
Yeah, exactly. Because he got this bag, this certain type of bag from something that he tried one time or something in the mail. I forget exactly what it was, but he got the bag for free, and he's like, "Aha! Now we got something to put the dishes in, and we literally leave them in the trunk." So that knife that he just took back, that's his favorite cutting knife because we'll go to the Kroger, he'll get us fresh lettuce, onion, maybe if we want onion, he'll get us fresh tomato and literally cut it right there at the table once we sit down to eat. And usually, like if we're really hungry, we'll eat first, and then. But my thing is if if I eat first and then start walking around, I end up getting my it starts cramping my stomach. So I, in particular, have to, you know, sit down for a while. If we eat first, then we better plan on sitting for a while until my food has time to digest decently so that I can get up and walk and we can walk one of the trails or whatever. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Oh, goody gumdrops. Finally got my ring fixed because ever since that broke, I was like, no, I just got it. Damn it. I didn't even get to wear it, you know, but a handful of minutes or whatever, and it fell off. I'm like, no. And I was equally crushed when my little heart bottle got broke. But, you know, this glass, it's so thin, you know, and it's very fragile. So, yeah, you know, it's a tougher one, I'm sure, to pack. So what probably would have been better for it is if it would have been wrapped in like a little piece of bubble wrap or something and taped shut, because then that would have kept it from jostling around and stuff. But, you know, it's one of them things. That's why I said, if you have an extra one and you can bring it with you, it's just a tiny, you know, it's a tiny little thing. Bring me another little heart-shaped empty bottle. I will keep the cork out of the one that broke, but I am not throwing away the broken one until I have another one to replace it. because I love those little bottles. Um, yeah, I thought you did. I thought, really, I thought you did. I thought you put it in there on purpose because you knew that I liked the bottle that you sent me when you sent me the bottle that I'm wearing. This one, it has the little amethyst stones in it and stuff. But yeah, I thought that you did put it in there on purpose. Maybe it was the fairies. That could be, because another thing that would be fun to put in that little bottle is fairy dust. I could use a little funnel or something and dump some fairy dust in it, and yeah, that would be really pretty. Oh, okay, that's probably what it was. Yeah, because I know when you do the crystal scoops that you get, sometimes you get little figurines and different little crystals, and so it's nice to see the mystery surprises. Oh, you want to see the pretty color? Look at the pretty color of this, because I don't know if you've ever seen this one melted down, but see that? Doesn't that look like literally liquid gold? That's the wedding day wax melt that it's melting down. Oh, so yeah, it's really pretty, and it's got the glittery in it just a little bit. Oh, I love it. And I can see the pentacle on the bottom of it real good too. It's that clear. You still got that beautiful rich honey gold color, but you can see the pentacle that's in the top of it that's carved into it. So, yay. Finally, I got my wing fixed so I can wear it again. But the thing about the adjustables, I'm glad it's adjustable, don't get me wrong, but this one is too. And every time that I have pulled that piece, see that piece, how it's open there? Every time I have pulled that apart to try and put it on another finger, it ends up poking into my finger, and I don't like that. It's like very uncomfortable. So I'll just keep it, I keep it on my pinky because that's where it seems to fit the best. Can you believe that ring was like $40? I mean, look at the size of that moonstone. It's a nice rainbow moonstone. Don't get me wrong, but $40? It's like, are you fucking kidding me? This, like I said, I think I've said this before. This is a replacement for a real pretty rainbow moonstone I had years ago that I had bought. I believe it was a ring, as a matter of fact. So it was on a band. It was roughly about the length of that one, and it had this metal lace pattern around the outside, which it literally looked like lace, but it was metal. And that one was pricey. That one somebody tried to take away from me, but I got there in time, or it got put in the wrong packaging or something that got put in the wrong hold box or whatever. But I was like, no, and I described it. I said, I came to get that ring. I asked them to put it aside for me. That's when Diane was still working Pearls of Wisdom, because she's the lady that owns it. Her and her female partner live in, I don't know where they're living now, but like I said, remember when I took you to the Pearls of Wisdom and we both got the bass pendant? The ladies that are running that now are obviously ladies that she trusts in her store to run it, because her and her wife or partner or whatever, they're not living in Columbus, Ohio anymore. They moved to another city. Yep, see I don't know if you can tell, but see the white, so the glue it's getting in its nice good drying stage. And I want to make sure that it is completely dry before I put it on my finger, because I don't want to dislodge it and, break it again. So,
24 hours.
Yeah, 24 hours, you think? Okay.
Just to make sure, supposedly it can be set within about an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, 24 hours, he's probably right, just to be on the safe side. Because, see, you can see the white in there, too. See, that's the white color that when this Gorilla Glue dries, that's what it looks like. And it's ugly, I mean, I don't want to see that. So, but anyway, so this ring was a replacement for that one that I had that had the lace edging that was absolutely beautiful. I have never seen another rainbow moonstone like it. and it got broke. Because it was on a band like this, on a ring band, and I had got it snagged on something and it snapped it off. And I was so devastated because that ring was pricey too. It was expensive. But when I saw this one, I was like, aha, my rainbow moonstone replacement for the one that I lost. Oh no, it's okay. Even though it broke in the end, and I didn't probably have it very long, I don't think even. Um, I ended up using it in a love spell. I kid you not, to draw new love to me. And I used the very waters in the Whitehall Park in a certain area. There was like this like cliff edge that you could stand and look down at the water. And that's where I threw it in because it was a real pretty pink pouch, was probably about that big. It had a real bright fuchsia pink color to it. I sacrificed, I think if I'm not mistaken, I had a rose quartz sphere, my rainbow moonstone, and some other items. And on a spell paper, I wrote, new love, and I tossed it in the water. And, I said, and jokingly honest, I started laughing and I said, let the right one be drawn to me and let him actually walk through those very waters someday while I am with him. Lo and behold, when we did our creeking days, we did them over at Whitehall Park. You might think, what do you mean by creaking? We would literally, we would pick a pair of shoes, like old tennis shoes or something that we didn't care if it got ruined or, it was a willing sacrifice. And we would literally walk through the water. We would get in the water. We would walk through it.
Just basically wading through the creek.
Yeah, we were just wading through the creek is basically what we were doing, but we call it creeking because we were literally in the water. And I remember standing, I think, on that same cliff face, looking down, and Chris was right there walking around looking, because we were just looking to see if there was like something cool would, be exposed because the water levels were severely dropped. They were low enough that there was like sections of, ground showing through and everything. So obviously it was during the summer, but I remember clearly he ended up walking right through the very section where that pouch was thrown when I threw the pouch. And I was like, my eyes about fell out of my head. I'm like, no way, no way, no way. And I thought that was funny. I thought, talk about your irony. Goodness sakes. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Trying to, when this glue is in a certain pliable state, you can smush it. You can flatten it down so then it don't look so bad, It don't stick up so much. But I try to do it very gently because to me it looks better. Because when it's sticking out, and like little bubbles and stuff, it looks icky. But this stuff to me is like silly putty when it's in this pliable state. What?
So to start at dinner.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me go ahead and Ack! Well, why don't I just ruin my bottle while I'm at it, or my little thing that brushes on the polish. And this is also kind of, I don't know, my way of personalizing the ring, I guess. By giving it that, oh, crap. Painting it with glitter polish. Because to me, the glitter polish is far prettier to look at than the icky white glue. And by doing this simple action. I'm personalizing it by putting glitter on it.
Yeah, but you won't let me feed the cats glitter.
No.
How the hell are we supposed to make fairy poop?
Enough with the fairy poop, okay?
Hey, if Pet Rocks will sell, then fairy poop will be a fucking make us billionaires.
She's got petrified dino poo. You want some?
No. But like I said, if
Pet Rocks, give me a break.
Pet Rocks could sell, then fairy poop will make us billionaires. Be able to buy and sell trunks.
She just gave you 3. I'm laughing so hard I'm crying. Your dad's a goofbutt. Just saying. Pops is a goofbutt, goofbutt, goofbutt. Pops is a goofbutt, goofbutt, goofbutt.
No, I'm a visionary.
You're a goofbutt.
I'm a visionary.
You're too fucking weird for this world. You need to go to Venus or somewhere and just live there. 'Cause then you'd be surrounded by beautiful women and you'd be happy.
Venus sucks.
Don't let her hear you say that. You can strike him dead if you like. I won't mind. Venus does not suck. It's all gases, though, isn't it? The planet? It's mostly gases and stuff.
Yeah, highly poisonous, extremely high temperatures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not livable. So you want to talk about sending your enemies to a place that they wouldn't survive, send them to that. Send them to Venus. They'd be incinerated before they got anywhere near the damn place, probably. I got my ring fixed. Yay! And now it'll be a nice replacement ring for this one. Because I love this one, but you know, I've got so many rings, I want to be able to wear those too. Because like the rings that have like the elastic band on them, like the metal, and then it's got like the actual elastic underneath the metal or inside or whatever. I can't wear those either because those are even uncomfortable for me. But see, doesn't that look prettier? Doesn't that make it more personal by putting like the glitter on it? So you don't have to see that ucky white glue. And once again, this is how I add more a part of myself to the piece by putting on, you know, glitter polish, and you can tell how much of it I've used. See how empty the bottle is? It's how much of it's gone. I definitely need to get to Hot Topic and find me some more like that. Find me another bottle of glitter like that. Some more other skull colors they have. Even if it's a color that I wouldn't necessarily wear myself, but it would be nice for a backup option of future pieces that I may do where I have to use the Gorilla Glue or whatever, and then I can paint over it and it looks so much better. Because that's what I did with my green wand. I took some pink, combination of some of this real pretty pink color and some of the purple here, which you can tell how much of the purple I've used. Because the line right here, the dark line, that's how much of it I've used. And you just dab it on. This is my vintage perfume. Don't know the name of it. It's probably on the bottom, but it's so tiny, I don't know that I'd see it. This I found at the Breckenridge place. You have to pull that lid off, and then you have to twist this one to get it off. And it's got a really nice smell. I really like it. It's kind of like, I treat it like I do my Poison perfume. I don't wear it very often, and I don't wear very much of it because I don't want to go through it too quick. Because it's not like I'm probably ever going to have that perfume again because I don't even know what kind it is. So yeah, when this glue is like more dry in here, where I can just kind of, pluck it out of there. Because this is what I use to burn my candles in. So I don't want a bunch of ucky looking Gorilla Glue in there. Oh, he's going to light some of his incense that you got him. Oh, the one you got? Oh, I love it when he lights his little woof. It's cool to see the smoke come out of his little mouth, and I'd like one of those myself, but I would probably want the other critter that you have that does that, which I can't remember if it's a frog or what, but you have another one about the same size, but it's a different critter as his little woof there. It just amazes me, some of the ideas that come to me now of, wow, who would have thought to use wax from a tea light candle as a filler for something, for like a jewelry piece. Oh, dragon. Oh, then I definitely want a dragon. Oh yeah. I would love that. I have to get me one. Get me a dragon. So that way I have a nice little one to, a little holder, little incense burner to burn mine in. Because he gave me like 4 boxes of the scents that he didn't like. And then I also have my super hit that I bought from you, or that you gave me as extra. Because I love my super hit. Yes. Yay. I got my ringy fixed. I'll probably do the glitter on the underside too, because I did fill it in with the wax. So it looks white underneath. But that's okay. I got the right side facing front. See? Pretty white, like it was when I put it on my finger. Just kind of wiggling it tiny bit. Make sure it's setting up real good. I so want to put it on right now, but I'm fighting myself. Because I'm afraid of gluing it to my finger. That would be bad. Wish I had something. I wish I had like a little ring box or something that has the little slot in it. You could just set it in. Wait a minute. I kind of do. I've got a jewelry box in the bedroom. It's a little wooden jewelry box thing, and it's got these little drawers that you can pull out. And the very bottom one, when you pull it out, it's got places where you can set rings. I think that's what I'll do. That way I can put it down, not be tempted to wear it until it's had at least a day completely to solidify, and I won't have to worry about it being dislodged. And hopefully the glue, no more of the glue will like drip down on in the ring box slot thingy. Oh boy. What?
Could you haul it down real quick, ask her if she wants to come up for dinner?
Don't think I ever showed you. One of my ring stands that I did with the resin pieces. This is a pendant. It's got crystals in it. And this is like a little clear piece that I put some very pretty colors in. And I decided, haha, that should be perfect to set the ring on. Come on. There we go. And this is a bowl that I'm thinking I can maybe use to put like some crystals in or something. It's just been sitting in the bedroom. This is one of those bowls that you get the little pitcher and you put it in there, and then people would fill it with water to like wash their face and stuff. They would fill the pitcher with water. They would set it in here, or they would dump the water in or something or another. I think they would set it in here when it didn't have water in it, or I don't know. But this was the bottom half of it. The pitcher is actually buried in my dresser drawer. And it's ceramic. And this is a ring that Jim got me. It's an adjustable. It's a crescent moon, and I'm pretty sure that's a malachite, which is a green and black crystal that has, like certain properties and stuff. I only have I think currently 2 ring stands, and what I actually did was I took 2 of my aquamarines and I also glued them on there, and then I took some fairy dust, combination fairy dust, and some of the glitter polish and dabbed it around the crystals so they would look better. Okay, let me get my phone and call Maria and see if she wants to come up for dinner. If she's on here. There we go. Hey, have you eaten yet? She already ate.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Chris wanted me to call down and let you know that dinner was ready and see if you had eaten yet or not. So, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I'll let you go then. He just wanted me to call and let you know and see if you had eaten yet. All right. Love you. Bye. Yeah, she's already eaten. Good. I know that's terrible of me, isn't it? Bad, Janet. Stop saying that. Bella, Bella! Uh-oh, he must smell the food, and he's like, okay, where's my plate, Dad? Need to file this. Feel like there's a piece on this nail sticking up. If I don't catch it now and file it off or smooth it down, or it'll end up breaking. My nail will end up breaking. And I won't light an incense because he's already lit one. But the malachite star, I have a pair of earrings, post earrings that go with it. That are the malachite as well. So I think what I'll do is, this should be good for a wax cutter. maybe even take the sharpener to it and sharpen it a little bit just so it'll cut through easier. Especially as thick as that cauldron one is. Holy cow. You know, it's like, yay. So now I got me a wax cutting knife. Need to find somewhere to put it when I'm not using it, though. Somewhere I can see it. There we go. So I don't go, fuck, where did I put my knife? Yeah, get out of my baggie. I don't know if that was a dead roach or what. We'll try to. This is what's left of the this last bag of Wipe It things. I just wanted to clean this a little better inside here. Ooh, yummy, yummy. We got what I think they call these raviolis. Raviolis with some cheese sprinkled on it and some veggie bowls.
Vegetables have cheese too.
And the vegetables have cheese. Cool. For this meal, we thank you now. Oh, as it sustains us, please allow your blessings on these gifts in us, as we will, so mote it be. Mm. See, he's trying to cook healthy for us. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm.
Oh, crap.
What makes these raviolis particularly good? They have cheese inside of them. Man, are they good. And they're big.
Cheese and Italian sausage in these ones, and the other ones are spinach and cheese.
See? That's how big one of them is. So basically, it's the stuff inside of them that makes them really good. As he said, this one is combination Italian sausage, right? Italian sausage in these and cheese.
Boo.
Quick picks, only on the Caesar Sportsbook app.
Everybody's switching to Germain Volkswagen of Columbus. Why? Inventory's back and on sale.
Was it Boo or Bella?
And cross-sports with rates as low as
Bella's the one who
Boo
has
chasing Bella. Bella almost jumped up on the coffee table right in the middle of Dad's plate. That would be bad.
Big screen. The real story of the wackiest movie of the year, Cocaine Bear. Next edition, tonight at 7:30 on NBC4. Come on. wild story. A couple in North Carolina tried to take their wedding day to the next level. They got stuck.
That's going to make sense in just a second. The bride and groom spent 2 hours stuck in a hotel elevator on their wedding day. Video captured the moment the couple was hoisted to safety through the top of the elevator along with other members of the bridal
Your
party.
giggle for the day.
Luckily, no one was
Mom
hurt.
wearing her
The
food
party
instead of
quickly
eating it.
continued. But let this be an early lesson to the new couple. Marriage, all about the ups and
I
downs.
get it. If you can survive that, you're off to a good start for your nuptials.
I think they'll be okay.
Yeah.
We have much more coming up for you at 5:30, including donating to massive disasters. Before you donate, what you need to watch out for in tonight's Better Call 4.
Also, a coalition in the Ohio State House proposing a new amendment to end qualified immunity, how this would affect state employees and what lawmakers are saying.
And the measles outbreak in central Ohio officially over, according to Columbus Public Health, who say they received the last result they needed to declare it over. What led up to that announcement coming up at 5:30?
Stop searching for value in all the wrong places. Highmark Express has the best insurance offer around.
So see,
Second pair of glasses when you use insurance with us. It's like
There's also nice salad.
get the most from
oh, I forgot. He's got salad for us too.
If we wanted to do this.
This will fill me up.
Have maybe later tonight.
Yeah, Bella. The thing about these ring stands that I've been able to determine doesn't mean necessarily that I'm doing them the correct way, or certainly the way they suggest on the box of the resin kit that I bought to do them, to get them. What I do usually is I take one of the lids from the square jewelry boxes, that becomes the base. I make sure and do it like I'm getting ready to do it for a jewelry box, so it has that little bit of that kind of sticks up a little bit of a dome. And then you have to take one. I take one of the pendants and glue it in the center of it, and then let it dry. And can't fit very many rings on it, but there could be another way to do it that I'm just not even thinking of.
96 of 100 Window Nation customers are satisfied. Our satisfaction rating is you.
Window Nation has a 96% customer satisfaction rate.
Exactly.
I knew that.
Now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025.
He never calls up.
Window Nation, the perfect fit.
Were you or your family stationed at Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987? You may have been exposed to contaminated water. If you lived at Camp Lejeune and developed cancer or other health problems, call 1-800-ELK-OHIO.
Another
At iMart Express, get an eye exam, get
possibility
and get your glasses in hand with free same-day speed, all in one place, all in one day.
is
Shop now and get 2 pairs single vision starting
for
at
a
$40. iMart
uh,
Express, your all-in-one optical solution.
ring stand base.
What's that Storm Team
Is the one I showed you.
The commitment to
Where?
Central Ohio. People
It's the
depend
other side of the
on
jewelry
accurate
box.
forecasts to keep them safe when there's severe weather heading their way. That's why we come in at crazy hours of the day sometimes, because we love it. And we
The other
know
side
it's
of the jewelry
important
box
to this
mold.
community.
You put a small layer, or if you want it as thick as it, you can fill it. But you put a small layer, which I did with that one.
You can make sure a charity is legitimate and avoid the imposters. Watch Better Call
Let it
Saul
dry,
next.
pluck it out of there, put a pendant in the middle of it, glue it in place, and then you got a ring stand.
NBC4 at 5:30 starts now.
Tonight, Columbus Public Health declaring the measles outbreak in central Ohio over. We thank you for staying with us for NBC4 at 5:30. I'm Jennifer Bullock.
I'm Jared Smalley. At the height of the outbreak, more than 85 cases were reported in Franklin County. NBC4's Jonathan Jackson is live with the latest from health officials on how this outbreak was brought to an end. Jonathan?
Yeah, guys, in order to declare the Columbus's public health crisis with the measles outbreak officially over, they needed to have an incubation period of over 42 days with no new cases. And Health Commissioner Dr. Mashika Roberts says, we had our first reported measles case back on November 5th. Now, from there, she says the disease spread among children who are not fully vaccinated, and it reached a total of 85 cases. However, the last confirmed measles case was on December 24th, and since then, we've been under that incubation period again of over 42 days. Now, Dr. Roberts says it did take a little longer than expected due to one of the tested samples requiring further confirmation that it wasn't measles, but she credits Central Ohio's health partners and the
If I don't
community
literally
for
put the
taking
plate
the outbreak seriously and encouraging families to get their young children vaccinated.
up here under my chin when I get a fork full of vegetables. They go everywhere.
Just 85 cases, have no deaths, get more people vaccinated against MMR, and get everyone back into school and back into work in a very quick amount of time.
Now, Dr. Roberts says, while this is a good thing, she warns the public that the next outbreak is just a simple vaccination away. So she's asking people to keep their, vaccinations in mind, stay up to date on those, and also make sure you're vaccinated for other infectious diseases as well. Local for you at Columbus Public Health, I'm Jonathan Jackson, NBC4.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. We talked about being in springtime, right? Today was like summer. 70
Bill, quit
degrees
that.
plus out there. My wife texted me that her car thermometer hit 86
It was
degrees.
confused. It was confused.
Very weird out there. Let's get right to Storm Team 4's Dave Mosley, the most accurate forecasting. Yeah, it was amazing today. Official high temperature out at the airport, the warmest day of the year at 73 this afternoon. You notice that satellite, though, we are seeing a little bit of cloud cover starting to move back in from the west. Temperatures, though, are still quite
Gonna get
warm
mommy?
in the lower 70s. Off
Hi,
towards the east
baby.
and southeast.
Mommy
We're
got
still
food.
69 here in town, but there is a little bit of a hint of some cooler air, slightly cooler air moving in from the north and west, and that's going to continue to kind of go.
I think he's just
on
happy because he got to go outside today.
You notice winds are picking up outside into the 20s.
Even though it was only for a short time.
35 miles an hour right now. So in the short term, we are going to see those numbers dropping from 69 right
Someone
now.
let him back out.
Around 60 by 8 p.m. and 54 by 9.
You know, but I went looking for him.
Completely different
Well,
season as you head out the door.
I heard him out there on the porch meowing.
Oh boy.
There's a lot of people
Thank you.
out in and out of here.
Coalition coming together with a proposal for a constitutional amendment in the state, which could make it easier to sue the government. As NBC4 State House reporter Natalie Bomme tells us, while the group thinks it will make Ohio safer, not everyone, Natalie, agrees.
That's right, Jennifer. The group is proposing a constitutional amendment to end qualified immunity in the state. But not everyone thinks ending qualified immunity is a good idea. They say it will have a negative ripple effect. Qualified immunity protects government employees, like police officers, from civil suits for actions like inappropriate use of force, unless it can clearly be proved that the act was unconstitutional.
If there's no way for us to hold our government accountable when our rights are violated, what is to stop the government from violating our rights?
Howell Pierce, Executive Director for the Ohio Coalition to End Qualified Immunity, says this is not just about police officers, but would apply to all government employees like public university administrators.
Qualified immunity places all government officials and agents, not just law enforcement, above the law.
No one thinks that this applies for the most part to anybody except police.
If this initiative ultimately passes, it would only permit lawsuits against government employers, not employees. But the employees would hold the right to participate in the case as third-party defendants.
An officer may search someone's car without a warrant and against their wishes. Should that officer have to pay out because of that? Should they be fired because of that? Or is there something wrong with the employer not providing the proper training?
What it does change is it gives lawyers and prosecutors an opening to charge officers for decisions they make in a split second. And oftentimes it's the right decision.
And opponents say without qualified immunity, not only will it limit an officer's ability to protect communities, but will also create a staffing issue.
Ending qualified immunity would have a destabilizing effect on law enforcement at a time.
Their goal now is to
Damn garbage calls. Fucking made me jump.
Natalie, thank you. Still ahead, new details on a deadly shooting in Orlando. What police say happened with the suspect moments after his arrest.
And an update on the Alex Murdaugh trial. He took the stand today. You're going to hear part of his testimony next.
Everybody's
See the
switching
Florida
to the
shooting.
City of Columbus. Why? Inventory's back and on sale. New Sportages, Sorrentos, and Rios from $16,999 or $259 per month with zero down.
Columbus Worthington Air and Bryant Heating and Cooling are committed to keeping your family warm this winter. Schedule your annual heating system check now with Columbus Worthington Air for only $79. Visit us at cwaohio.com. And remember, you can't spell trust without us.
Hey, Columbus, what's better than getting new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Paying absolutely nothing for them until 2025. That's right. American WeatherTech is offering you no down payment, no.
And have Daddy's plate here when he's done.
For 2 full years. And what makes this our biggest
And like I said, you'll probably get a little something a little later tonight.
25% off always.
Yeah.
Call American WeatherTech today and let our team come out and give you a no-cost, no-hassle estimate so you can decide what's right for you. Thank you, Columbus.
They're still not showing my molds.
Car, truck, or motorcycle accident?
And they were supposed to come today.
Kevin Curtis. Get the money and justice you deserve. Let us fight for you. And remember, we don't get paid unless you get paid.
So I am not very happy.
7 for Kevin Ford. Hey, you know how Caesar invented the Caesars Sportsbook app, Caesars Rewards, and of course the salary gets sold for that? Well, he's back with Quick Picks, the quick and easy way to turn today's biggest headline.
Because I won't be able to
into bets. Look, it's right
buy
there.
another set of them until I get my
Same
check.
parlay, free bill with the moments that make marquee matchups marquee. What will Caesar think of next? Caesar's come with something new, but he hasn't told me what it is yet. For now, bet like a Caesar with Quick Picks. Only on the Caesar Sportsbook app.
We're Carvana. We've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Go to Carvana, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. We'll come to you, pay you on the spot, then pick up your car. That's it.
Oh.
Attention homeowners, it's February at Columbus Worthington Air. Replace that old inefficient HVAC system with a new energy efficient system from CWA. For a limited time, you'll receive a free furnace with select new cooling systems plus a free Nest thermostat. Visit CWAOhio.com.
Nice.
Everybody's switching to Germain Kia of
Oh,
Columbus.
eyes are bigger in your
Why?
stomach.
Inventory's back and on sale. New Sportages, Sorrentos, and Rios from $16,999 or $259 per month with zero down.
Oh.
When disasters strike, people come together to help, often by donating money. But scammers try to take advantage of good intentions. How you can make sure a charity is legitimate and avoid the imposters. Watch Better Call 4 next.
I'm very upset.
Taking a live look at traffic right now, I-270, State Route 315. A little bit of backup starting to build up as we get into the heart of the rush hour.
Alex Murdaugh, the former South Carolina lawyer on trial
My
for
molds
the murder of his wife and
were
son,
supposed to come
testified
today.
for the first time today.
My,
He and Paul
green man,
Murdaugh
green
were
woman.
killed near kennels on their property in June of 2021. Alex faces 30 years
Uh-oh.
if he is convicted, but
Hey,
he said
Mommy.
he did not do it.
He's fighting you tooth and nail.
A 300 block out
There.
into her head,
There.
causing her death.
He was just a squiggling all over the place trying to get out of Daddy's arms.
Ever.
Murdaugh also apologized for initially lying to investigators about being at the scene where the two were later found dead. Prosecutors spent 4 weeks painting Murdaugh as a liar who killed his wife.
He don't want
and
it.
To buy time to cover
He
up
just
his
trotted
own
off.
crimes, which were about to be discovered. The trial, of course, is still ongoing.
A news conference today in Orlando, Florida, providing new details on yesterday's shootings, which claimed 3 lives and injured 2 others. Orange County Sheriff John Mina confirmed the sequence of events, saying officers first investigated a shooting death around 11 a.m. They were called back to the same area 5 hours later. That's where TV reporter Dylan Lyons and a 9-year-old girl were both shot and killed. Witnesses at the scene led them to Keith Melvin. 19-year-old was taken into custody. A gun was recovered. Police say Melvin fought with officers both at the scene and then later at a local hospital.
That filled me up.
Melvin is being held on 1 murder
Bella.
charge and several more charges
Come here.
are expected soon.
Another one.
Restaurants are adding subscriptions to their menu.
Go ahead, baby.
Subscriptions.
Bobby didn't want it. He ran off.
Already jumping on that trend. Okay. And temperatures today started at 53 this morning. It climbed to a new record of 73, the warmest day of the year so far.
Every time I look at my orchids now, I get a sad face because I don't want them to die.
Between the train derailment and the earthquakes in Turkey, you may be considering donating to help, but be careful for scammers looking to get your money. Tips to avoid this in tonight's Better Call 4 next.
To be a teacher, you have to be a special person. You're getting into education because you genuinely want to see the next generation do better and educate them so that some of those people can try to educate the following generation.
Oh, he got you good. It's your own fault. Daddy's got kitty holes in him now because he was holding on to Boo, and Boo did not like it.
Don't worry, I'll clean it up. The President's Day sale, 30% off everything. Lazy Boy, live life comfortably.
So Boo Baby got him for you.
Chevy Silverado factory lifted trucks with the capability of a 2-inch lift, the versatility of the available multi-flex tailgate, and the connection of 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen. Chevy Silverado, taking adventure to a whole new level.
Get 2.99% financing for 5 years on all 2022 Silverado 1500 pickups, or get $12.50 cash allowance on this Silverado with a 2.7-liter engine. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $32.50 total.
Yeah, we're not going to eat any salad. That meal itself, just vegetables and some raviolis filled us up.
This isn't even broken. I just want to keep it that way.
Hey, do you think you can repeat that? It was sarcasm.
Hey, at least I know where these ones came from.
Hey folks, James here with Universal Windows Direct. It's
Stupid
been 15
commercials.
years since the government gave energy tax credits for upgrading to energy efficient windows. And the time has come again with the 2023 Inflation Reduction Act. Right now is the best time to upgrade your old drafty windows to our exclusive Energy Star certified Unishield windows and get qualified for this tax credit. Don't miss out on free money. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, plus 36 months interest-free financing. Call now and we'll double the tax credit. And you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Remember those learning to ride a bike years? You were right there, every step of the way. Remember those talks about good sportsmanship? Yep, that was
Okay.
Now,
God has helped me.
This is a
Help
teaching
me.
moment and a rite of passage. All rolled into one.
Help me do this.
It might be a little stressful, but you'll get through it.
I'm gonna pluck my little ghosty out of here.
For helpful tips, visit teachyourteentodrive.ohio.gov.
The 67th Annual Columbus Dispatch Spring Home and Garden Show, presented by Ohio Mulch, returns to the Ohio Expo Center, February 18th through the 26th. Tickets and more information are available now at dispatchhomeandgardenshow.com.
I like the little ghosty.
You have to be a special person.
Look, I got the little ghosty. Because I don't want him to get all messed up. I like the little ghosty, confetti stuff. It's real pretty.
That's my gift.
Here we go.
The Columbus Zoo Aquarium
Oh, man.
its credibility after losing its accreditation. Coming up new at 6, an update on the progress and when the zoo CEO says the accreditation could be restored.
When you need help, when you're out of options, and you need your voice heard, Better Call 4.
A Better Call 4 alert and reminder about the dangers of donating following the train derailment in East Palestine and the deadly earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. People watching from the outside want to help in any way they can. Others, sadly, take advantage of these tragedies to deceive donors. The steps you can take to make sure your money ends up in the right place in tonight's Better Call 4.
I feel so silly.
Within 3 days' time, 2 major disasters on opposite sides of the
I'm the same way with candles.
in East Palestine, Ohio, impacted and unsure of what's to come.
If I have
Syria, death and
candles
destruction.
that are
Efforts to recover and rebuild
like made
not
into like
yet
figurines and
underway.
stuff, they're literally
You
carved.
want to help by
They
donating
carve
money to
the
those
wax into
affected.
figurines.
For scammers
I've got
and
2
fake
unicorn
news,
heads
creating fake websites
in the
and
dining
fundraisers
room
to
on my
get
shelf
people
that are
to
wax
donate.
candles.
That's why
they're so fragile. Like I think one of the ears came off of one, so I just like took a lighter to the tip of it and put it back on, and one of the horns came off. And I was showing those pieces to Daryl one day when he was in here, and I said, this knick-knack shelf I place here because this is parts of my life, things that, some of my passions, the little figurines and stuff. And some of the photos are past memories of happy times, with me and my kids and, different things like that. And I made the mistake of touching the unicorn candles, and I should not have done that. And sure enough, the ear came back off, the horn came back off. So they're still in there on that shelf though. So I'm going to have to take my lighter and, reseal them back on and remind myself, don't touch them again, because I'll never burn them. And I guess that's why, even though I know that's what this is made for, it's so hard for me to cut this up because I like the artisticness of the piece. And what would be even better, which would be cuter, is to either get like a little crystal ball stand you could sit this on, or make one. Literally make one out of wax, or like fasten little legs on the bottom of it so it could literally, stand up on legs. Because it stands up, even though the bottom is kind of caved in. But it's unique. I like the way it looks. It's a cauldron, you made it, and it's just really hard for me to just see it as a piece of wax that is supposed to be cut and melted. Oh, God, help me. I can't do it. I just can't do it right now. Oh, I can't do it. I can't cut it. We're set up for a beautiful sun-kissed finish to the day. Sunset still about another right now. Temperature-wise outside, very well right now. Too much effort to add legs would be too fragile. Yeah, you're right, because of the weight of the piece. But if you had, on the other hand, if you had like a crystal ball stand, it's going to be metal, and it would be able to hold it just fine, I would think. As long as it would fit on there, right, and everything. But it's kind of one of those, I'm saving the best for last. That will be the last one that I cut up, and I won't do that until I have all the other wax melts that I got in both batches that you sent me. The first box, which was Christmas stuff, and then the second box, which was my order that most recent came. When they're all gone, the cauldron will be the last thing that I will use my wax knife to cut it into quarters so that you can put in, a piece at a time and make sure it's not going to overflow. The burner that you put it in. Not to mention, I do have some others around here, some older ones of mine. Like I've got some wax cubes that they're some that me and Maria bought at the store. And they need to get used for sure. They need to get melted down because this stuff will only last. The fragrance will only last so long before you have to replace it anyway. But yeah, when we go into the Walmart, I'll take you to the candle section and let you see all the wax cubes they have and stuff. And you might as well say bars. Like some of them, are kind of on the long side. Some of them are shorter. And usually once you get it out of the clear plastic package, you can just break it off each piece as you see fit. And then that way, by only doing one piece at a time, you can get an idea about how big of a piece certain burners are going to be able to realistically
It comes from 250,000
hold without it overflowing out of the
and two business owners on matching
wax burner.
raised. Leaders of the RMHC met today to present the check and provide an update on the charity's expansion. The House broke ground on a
That was them.
$42 million expansion in March of last
Uh-huh.
year. You may remember that. Doubling the size of the house in Columbus. The man behind doubling the donation, Mike Tellick, told NBC4 a personal story about how his son and wife recently had a child born with a heart defect, leading to an extended stay at the hospital. Well, they were local, but Tellick feels for those families seeking treatment from out of town.
Having them deal with that, how do you deal with that if you don't live right nearby? So all those folks outside of Columbus that need a place to be and support, this is what it's about.
Charity leaders say the move will allow the house to serve nearly 6,500 families each year.
Tonight on News Nation, America's
Airless basketballs now. Oh no, not again. Come on, don't start YouTube. Don't freaking cut my live off before I'm ready. I hate when it does that crap.
Primetime coverage of the Murdaugh murder trial starts at 8/7 Central, and secrets run rampant in the Idaho murders investigation. Could there be an informant? See why more people are turning to News Nation. To find News Nation, go to
Okay, good.
now.com and click channel.
Because I just saw another notice that popped up there in the top that said something about the connection was unstable. Give us a minute while we reconnect. And I'm like, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Because that YouTube does that too much. It's not on there now. It was only up there for a handful of minutes, but it showed up in the white. Yeah. She knows. She saw Bella jump up there.
She's getting fat.
So you keep reminding us.
Because when it comes to fresh, higher standards mean fresher produce. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
FanDuel and the NHL are changing your hockey experience. Join the #1 sportsbook power play. You can bet on the first goal of the game, first team 5 shots on goal, or first period score. With the red light goes,
I guess someone's trying to take me literally when I said I wanted a St. Bernard and train it as a lap dog.
every NHL moment more.
Instead, you ended up with a Maine Coon Belatoven that is just exactly that, but it's not a freaking St. Bernard.
Hey Columbus, what's better than getting new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Paying absolutely nothing for them until 2000.
I don't know, but he comes when I call him.
American Weather Tech is offering you no down payment, no monthly payments, and no interest for 2 full years.
He listens most of the time if I tell him to get down and so forth, except for on the computer desk. Well, I usually have to tell him no a couple of times and then actually put him down.
So you can decide what's right for you. Thank you, Columbus.
For the doers, the leaders, the difference makers.
At least before he used to lay down for me up there. Didn't used to stay for very long laying down, but he would lay down. He won't even do that anymore.
Take control, accomplishing more. Here's to the movers and the dreamers. Ford SUVs. Get an Escape with 2,000 retail trade assist cash, plus 3 years no charge maintenance and no charge 5-year 100,000-mile powertrain coverage.
I still think I can sell the car myself. This is going to take all day. And I have big plans. Brunch. Bubble bath.
At WeBuyAnyCar.com, selling your vehicle is always fast and fair.
And a nice pedicure.
All done.
Don't trade in yourself on yourself. Go to WeBuyAnyCar.com now for a free online valuation. Get in, get out, get paid.
When your door is always open, so is the fridge. At Kroger, however you shop, in-store, pickup, or delivery, you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards. That's a win-win-win. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Everybody's switching to Germain Mazda. Why? Inventory's back and on sale. New Mazda CX-30s, CX-9s, and CX-5s from $399 a month or 0 down.
Let's take a one more quick look at traffic. Here is I-270 at 23 on the north side of town. Right now, it is not in bad shape, but pretty soon, those exit lanes towards 71 are going to be a disaster.
That is a
So if you're heading
professional
out,
nightmare.
just keep that in mind. Keep an eye out for brake lights. Of course, we'll let you know if anything changes. A new basketball prototype may be bouncing its way into the NBA without any air inside of it.
Huh?
Yeah. This is
Okay. Wilson Sporting Goods introduced a new prototype for an airless basketball that combines a special type of rubber with 3D printing, removing the need for air. Ball was tested at an NBA facility in Ada. That's where the Wilson facility is. Same village where they make all the NFL footballs. Your thoughts on a basketball with holes in it and no air?
So we were talking about this. It's kind
Weird
of
looking.
a bigger
That's what I would call it. Weird looking.
Feels that way. I wonder how air affects it going, like when you shoot a ball, how air would affect the
And
travel.
again, my question is, why are we doing this?
Yeah, why? Exactly.
Just because I think just
Why should we?
Well, it might be decent for,
It's a way to save air.
you know,
Hey, more for us to breathe.
I guess that's a good thing.
schools,
Local coverage continues next on NBC4 at 6. Colin?
especially low-income area schools. Some of them have such shitty basketballs that have been repaired so many times.
On when he believes that could happen. Also ahead, 2 people dead in Columbus after a suspected murder-suicide.
Yeah.
The message mental health leaders are spreading in the hopes of preventing situations like this. First, anti-Semitic graffiti found at a Central Ohio park. We're going to have reaction from a neighbor. Those stories and your most accurate forecast in 2 minutes on NBC4 at 6.
Okay, I'm done.
This is the one I want. Now I'm gonna sit through the whole damn thing just to hear it. So.
Anyway. Whoops. Let's do a different card today. Halloween deck. Looking around for my eyeballs and put them on top of my head. Okay, well, why don't all of you just fall down? Damn it. card and message do you have today from this Halloween deck for my daughter Brooke, who is on my live with me right now? We've got the Sun card. It has a bunch of skulls and bones on it, and a two-headed ogre-looking critter laying on the ground on what looks like a blanket. There's the black kitty. There's sunflowers. There's some kind of fruit or something hanging here. There's a bat over here, and there's like a deer. It's like they're inside a cave, laying down, and then you can barely see like a little pumpkin on the side here. And the sun says, here we go. The sun. Exuberance, happiness, success, simple pleasures, a purity of spirit and mind, a good partnership or marriage. All right. That's always good, yeah. So that was a good one. Because the partnership could also be you and me going into business together, especially once we become your U.S., contacts or whatever, where you can, when you send us some of your stock. But marriage, that's definitely good, So the universe is saying, yep, you guys will be all right. You'll make it. Okay, what is my message today? Eight of Ghosts. Oh boy. Eight of Ghosties. Ghosts, page 27. Moving on. Tossing aside what has been gained. Letting go of status quo for something better. Disappointment in love. So at least it's got some good in it, moving on, letting go of stuff, tossing aside what has been gained, letting go of status quo for something better. I'll go with that. That's not a bad one at all. Uh-oh, I had another eureka moment, I think. It's like, there we go. It just came to me. That's a nice idea. When I do a daily card, when I do a live, I'll do a different deck each day. So once I do the self-love one tomorrow, and then the day after that, the Nightmare Before Christmas, then I will start getting out some of the ones in my box over there that is chock full of them. as you know. But I think that would be interesting, because I mean, a one card should be fairly simple to read, and it's a daily, kind of like a very general message. And each deck, it does, or at least a lot of them, have their own readings that you just got to look through the whole book to find them. Sometimes they'll be in the front of the booklet that comes with the deck. Sometimes they'll be in the back. So you just got to look for them. But once you find them, of course, you've got tarot decks yourself. It tells you what certain readings mean. And to me, with any deck, no matter what it is, you can always do the Celtic Cross Lay, the Celtic Cross Spread, and the past, present, and future. The one card daily is amongst the easiest for sure, because it's just a daily message. That's it, and it kind of it can sometimes give you a nice booster, too, for the day of how the day's going to go. Maybe some unexpected happy surprises will come along and it'd be like, hey, cool. And out of all the decks I showed you, there's still more. There's still more scattered throughout this apartment somewhere. And I probably won't run across any of them until we actually are finally moving, because there's just too much of an accumulation of stuff here that I would have to sort through, just to find the other decks. Like I have a Phoenix deck. I have a Dragon deck around here somewhere that used to belong to my English brother. I call him my English younger brother, that I only got to meet one time, and that was Mark Harries. He's, the son of Elizabeth Harries and the brother of Louise Harries, my other English family in the UK. And I still haven't done that. I still haven't got on Facebook and got a message to Louise and Elizabeth and give them my address again, give them my phone number, and say we have international calling. So if there's like a certain time of day, my time and their time, your guys' time, because they're in the UK like you, my time and London time, that is a good time to call. I'll call them up, and talk to them a little bit, because her Hayden, he's probably, I would say, well into his teens by now, because it's literally sadly been that long since I've talked to them, and I feel absolutely horrible. They probably think I've forgotten them, that they've done something wrong or something to make me angry at them. No, not at all. That was never the case. So I want to just kind of reach out to them and say, hey guys, sorry it's been so long. I haven't forgotten any of you. I still love you. You're still my family. Let them know about you, if that's okay, because I've known Louise and Elizabeth for many years, quite a few, because I'm talking all the way back to when I was still living with Mom at the old place when I first moved back to Franklin County, because going to the library to get on the internet for a long time, that was the only way I could. Get the computer back so I can read better what you're saying. People get it here like life gets busy. That's just what happens. Yeah, it really does. And I just hope that they don't think, that I just intentionally forgot about them, because I would never do that to family. I hate that sometimes, a lot of things do end up, taking up our time, and we lose touch with each other and stuff like that. But Mark had a Dragon deck, and he brought it with him. And I felt like that just wasn't the deck for him. He gave it to me, let me keep it, and now it has mysteriously disappeared. It's somewhere in this apartment, I hope. The Phoenix deck is another one of those. I mean, the cards are like that long, so they're really super hard to hold on to, and shuffle and stuff like that. I have to do it a lot like how I did my Halloween tarot deck. Is you can only shuffle it a certain way, and the Phoenix cards have is it 7? Like one of the readings has to do with 7 different cards that have different meanings um, that pertain to me and to my life and events that have happened in my life. And uh, I found out like one of my main cards, for instance, in that book it's a solid gold, jewel encrusted Peruvian bracelet, something that you would literally get in Peru. And I don't even want to know what the monetary value of this piece would be, let alone, I mean, I'm never going to own it. But as far as the deck is concerned, that is the card that pertains the most to me. Because when I read it, I was like, oh, that is so me. I love scarves, especially, like fashionable ones, decorative ones. I've made many, different types of scarves. I've made ones that you could wear when you dress up. I've made ones that you could wear for like special occasion. Um, I've got this one gold one that I thought the yarn was so pretty, but it was such a small ball of yarn that I tried to, there wasn't much I was able to do with it. But one of the things that I did end up coming up with it is I made this real pretty scarf, but it curls. Like you can't flatten it out. If you try to flatten it out, it'll just curl itself back up again. So it's a curly scarf, but it's real pretty. And I've never found yarn like that since. And one of the colors that I'm working with right now, as you know, is the black with the like gold glittery stuff in it. And sometimes that stuff's really hard to work with. The hook sometimes gets snagged in a peculiar way in between the yarn's layers, and which ends up causing me to miss stitch, and then the stitch don't come out right, and then it ends up compromising the piece. Oh man, where has all this sleepiness came on suddenly from? Oh, I need some energy, spirits. Give me some energy. Please give me some energy. I don't want to feel this sleepy this early in the evening because it's only like almost 15 after 6 p.m. here. So it's not, it's still light outside. It hasn't, taken on the typical look of, okay, it's night. It's nighttime now. You look outside, you see black. You see light, of course, because there's like street lights and stuff. But I can't help but wonder, how long am I going to be able to sit here this time before I hear gunshots going off outside the window? Somewhere around us. Which is very unnerving and tends to make you feel a little antsy and insecure because people are just so thoughtless and careless with their stuff that they don't keep it put up properly. They let their kids get a hold of it. They should never keep a loaded gun in the house, period. But they do, I'm guessing. Unless the kids have discovered how to load the gun themselves, which I imagine that's possible because of all the movies they probably watch and the different games that they play where it shows you as you're holding the gun in your hands, it shows you the different functions of the gun. So it probably wouldn't be that hard for a young person, an adolescent, not even that has gone through puberty yet, to be able to operate a gun. And that's scary. That is just downright scary because that should not be going on in the world. And yet it is. And my borderline, my dry eye doesn't help because I don't have any, I don't think. I had some eye drops around here somewhere, but the bottle is so small I keep fucking losing it. And I don't even know if it's still safe to use because I got it a couple years ago when I had my glasses before the pair I got now, the new pair. Don't have any more energy drinks. I only buy 3 of them at a time. Don't really feel like drinking any coffee because most likely I'm going to end up putting sugar in it because I cannot drink black coffee. I would puke because that is just god awful tasting to me. I got to have some kind of sweet. Give me my honey or, liquid creamer or whatever. And at least the liquid creamer is pre-sugared. So when you pour it in, not only does it help the hot beverage cool down to a more manageable, safer level of hot to drink, but it I don't like that, it has sugar in it. And so the sugariness ends up getting on my teeth. So when I have a hot cup of regular coffee, I'll pour some of the liquid creamer in it and drink it, and that liquid creamer gives it just enough sweet, but not over much. Not to mention the big bottle of caramel flavoring I have that you can pretty much pour in anything of your choice that's drinkable. But me, I mostly would only use it in like coffee. Um, if I had some tea that was like a caramel apple or something like that, and I wanted that little bit of extra sweetener, then I would probably use something like I would use that. Um, I just like you. I just hate being so tired, all the time, or so it seems. Very unsettling. Yeah. So I try to be careful because it is still sugar. It's a liquid drink, sugar, sugar thing that you can pour into something to give it a caramel flavor. And they also have it in vanilla. But since Sam's Clubs decided to stop carrying my French vanilla cappuccino powder that I love so much, I've had to resort to other matters. That's why me and Maria, when we discovered the caramel flavoring and the vanilla flavoring, she ended up getting a bottle of each. I only got a bottle of the caramel because one, I didn't want to be tempted getting a bottle of the vanilla too. And also I, was trying to keep down on, cut down on spending and, not spending too much money and stuff. So, and when I use it, just use very little because otherwise it's too much, and then I'm right back at square one, struggling with my weight that I'm never going to lose because I can't give up the overabundance of sugar that I keep penetrating my body with and my organs and different things, and it's causing problems. Um, mm. But I absolutely hate just from the simple act of sitting here getting this sleepy, and then because then I buzz my brain about what I can do to wake myself up, a little better. Should I drink a cup of tea or something like that? Because some of the black teas, they have an extra shot of caffeine in them. But if I do any kind of coffee, whether it's cappuccino or not, I'm going to end up putting sugar in it. It's kind of hard to get away from sugar when you're still finding reasons and ways to use it in your everyday eating and drinking stuff. So, in light of that, maybe this will help. Because I think a lot of that's what it is that makes me so tired is it's the inactivity. So I don't know how much of this I'll actually be able to read this time because my voice is liable to break because I need something to drink. Transformation can be thrust upon us unwillingly, or it can be a choice, a journey we embark on with enthusiasm or trepidation. Most of the time, we concentrate on the big, dramatic parts of transformation, the crisis point when we are in the middle of facing a challenge head on. But that is only one small part of the process of true change. We forget to look at the reasons we began the journey in the first place. Looking at the reasons we entered the cave of the underworld can be just as vital to facing the many challenges we will find in the underworld's depths. The reasons we are afraid to enter the cave and the things that prevent us from facing change are also imperative to our journey. The very first step on our path is an old one that both goddesses and mortals have taken. To begin the process of transformation, to enter our own personal underworld, we must, like the reluctant hero, face our fears and take those first brave steps into the dark. We must become Persephone, choosing to journey to the realm of the dead each winter, or Inanna, shedding our egos as we descend into the underworld. Those first terrifying steps into the dark require a choice to face our fears and, of our own volition, begin the process of transformation. As with most things, the first step is always the hardest. The trouble with change is that even when we need it the most, we resist it. We bargain with ourselves and create illusions, excuses, and reasons why we really don't have to change. Or maybe just not right now. We are scared to march down into the dark road that leads to the deepest, most secret parts of ourselves. Really looking at our problems, at ourselves, can be terrifying. This is not necessarily because of what we will see, but what we know we will have to do when we enter our own personal underworld and really take a good look. If we don't look at our problems, then we don't have to fix them. We are all afraid of something. Whether the monsters are in the physical realm or the ones that lurk in our psyches, fear is a part of human nature. At its most basic biological level, fear exists to keep us alive. And it does a good job. Fear stops us from doing dangerous things like going too near the high cliff or toward animals with sharp teeth. When we are in a life or death situation, it pumps us full of adrenaline, instinct sets in, and we are given a boost of speed and strength to escape whatever is confronting us biologically. Fear shuts down our brain's higher rational functions. If a saber-toothed tiger is attacking, we don't have time to think through the problem. Our body needs us to react quickly to survive. The problem with fear is while at its core, it's designed to save us from the saber-toothed tiger. It is also paralyzing at times. Fear can be crippling when we let it run out of control or apply it irrationally. Because most of the time, we aren't being confronted by a saber-toothed tiger. We are afraid of a whole host of nebulous, vague threats. We are afraid of our own mortality. We are afraid to take action, and at times we are simply afraid of being afraid. Fear paralyzes us, and sometimes it even tricks us. On a purely physical level, fear causes an increased heartbeat, pupil dilation, and an adrenaline and cortisol boost that can make us feel like we are moving and doing something even when we are not. In short, people like to spend time worrying about something because the biological stimuli of fear in our bodies makes us feel like we are actively doing something, even when we are just sitting there stewing about a problem. We aren't really thinking clearly or rationally when we are overcome by fear. But more often than not, it is when we are in this irrational state of fear that we make many of our life choices. When working with the dark goddess, it's important to recognize you will be afraid. When we understand our fears and learn to control our reactions to it, we can master this emotion. In this section, we will work with dark goddesses who rule over our descent into the underworld. They are the goddesses who help us move past fear, let go of things that hold us back, and mourn the things we have lost and the lost parts of ourselves. They give us the bravery to take those first steps into the dark unknown. The descent is all about removing illusions, releasing fear, and cleansing ourselves so that we may take the next necessary steps towards transformation. When you begin your journey, your descent into your own personal underworld, there are 3 things you must keep in mind. 1, the life you had or are living does not work anymore. 2, the process of change will be painful and uncomfortable. And 3, there is no guarantee who you will be at the end of the process. All 3 of these statements have rather terrifying implications. The first, of course, is that we must acknowledge that change is needed. The second is that it won't be an easy process or without costs. And last, it will change who we are to go on that journey into the dark. Even we won't know who we will be when we emerge after our journey. But without coming to terms with those 3 facts, we will never find the courage to take those brave steps into the unknown. The washer at the ford is the very first goddess in this book. Ooh. Yeah, I figured you'd like that. But before I get into any of that, I gotta go get me something else to drink because my throat's already giving me trouble. And also, sweetie, give me a minute. I gotta go to the loo.
Finally completed that one. That one was a bit tough. I was sweating again.
We should hit back to Mars.
Ow. Okay, that feels better. I decided to change my clothes a little bit so I can wear one of the few skull shirts that I have right now that I can wear with my pants here, and it kind of goes together. drying the hand sanitizer quicker. That's why I do my hands that way. I know it looks kind of funny. All right. Are we ready for this? And since these are meditations, or personal experiences that others have had, feel free to, if you really like a particular one, you can always go back and watch this through later, watch through that section and write it down. Have pen and paper ready, write down your own version of it or whatever, and it'll give you some nice meditation things to do, but only if you can do it where, you won't be disturbed. You stand at the shore of a great river. In some places, the water rages past. In others, it is calm and gentle. This is the river of life, death, and rebirth. In it flows the blood of the ancestors, the blood of all those who have gone before, the blood of birth and the blood spilt in battle. All life flows through this river. Its water runs through your veins, and you have passed through this water many times before, and you will again. You are not alone in this place. In the center of the river, you see a woman. Her skin pale as bone, her hair black as raven feathers. She stands naked in the river. The red waters swirl around her. You know this is the washer at the ford. Of all the Morrigan's faces, she stands out as being very distinct. Once you have seen her, you will never forget her face. She moves like a bird of prey. Her hands reach out into the water, and the fingers are long and end in black claws. And she washes and washes. She washes the armor of the fallen and the banners of the brave, and she washes our souls clean. You meet her eyes, and she begins to wade through the river to where you stand on the shore. She stops a few feet from the shore, still knee-deep in the red water. She motions for you to come forward with a hand, and you take one ginger step into the river, and then more confidently you wade deeper and deeper until you stand before her. The water rushes past your knees, and you feel the weight to it, the weight of the life in this water. It is life and death and rebirth. In this water is the potential of all things. It washes away the old and brings new form to all things. Its current is unending, as impossible to stop as the rising and setting of the sun. The washerwoman looks at you, considering, and then speaks. To stand before me, you must lay yourself bare, as I come before you. Sovereignty is earned. You have to choose to lay the past behind you, to leave behind that which no longer serves you. Strive to be worthy. You cannot fool me, for I see your heart. She reaches down and scoops up water, pouring it over your head, handful by handful. You taste copper and iron, and then she lets her claws rake down your skin as the water flows until she begins to rip pieces of your flesh away. Let it go. It is said more as a demand than an encouragement. No more. I will take it from you. I will rip it away. Cut out the rot. Your choice. Let it go. Let me do my work, or resist and make it more painful for yourself. I will have my pound of flesh, no matter what. And those claws tear you apart. They rip out all the things that do not serve you, all the things you fear to let go of, all the things you have outgrown, until your chest is hollow and bones protrude from a peacefully empty cavity. And then the rest follows until you are nothing. You are nothing but pieces when you fall backward into the river. And as you do, you feel all that life, all those beginnings and endings swirling around you. You feel free because there is nothing but yourself left, nothing but the core of who and what you are. No expectations, duties, others to attend to, only the shining of your own heart. In the river, there is nothing but that, and slowly you feel yourself begin to reform, little bits and pieces around the spark that is the essence of your being, the spark that belongs only to you. And you rise out of the river, gasping, blood dripping down your body. The washerwoman looks at you and kisses your forehead. My child, become whole again. Become who you are meant to be. Claim the sovereignty you have handed over to others. If you would pass through the river of life and death, if you would descend into the underworld and return again, then you must know your own worth. You are the child of a queen. Stand tall and be proud. You take a deep breath and the scene begins to fade, but you know if you ever need to release your sorrows and be cleansed, you can find your way back to the river. And the washer at the ford. That one got me. So that tells me, because it invokes or evokes such a strong emotional response, that it's time for me to go through this. Bab, in her guise as the washer at the ford, can be terrifying. I don't know how they pronounce the name, but it's spelled B-A-D-B, so I just say Bab. When I have encountered her, she is at times shrouded, her hands blackened, fingers long like the claws of a bird. Other times she is pale, white as bone from her clothes to her skin and hair. She has the uncanny and at times uncomfortable ability to see right through you. The washer at the ford sees all the things we hide from ourselves with striking clarity. She will hold you fast with those clawed hands and make you take a long, hard look into yourself. But she will mourn with you too. The moments when you cry your heart out, when hope seems impossible, she will stand beside you. She will wail, cry, and mourn with you. But she will also wash away your sorrows and help you move forward. The washer at the ford has gone through a transformation of her own through time. The washer at the ford is a title given to the goddess Bab, one of the three sisters who form the Morrigan. In this guise, she would appear along river fords, washing the clothes or armor of those destined to fall in battle, warning them of their fate. In later times, she turned into the Banshee and the fairy being Nighe, Nighe, diminishing in status from a goddess to a fairy woman, washing her bloody laundry by river fords and connected to prophecy, usually concerning death omens. As a goddess, Bab appears in many forms through Irish mythology. In her war aspect, she is Cathabab, literally meaning battle crow, in Irish, and was said to fly over battlefields. Her shrieks inspiring battle frenzy in her favored warriors and madness in their enemies. In the Battle of Clontarf in 1014 CE, Bab was said to have appeared shrieking over the battlefield, and in 870 CE, she was said to appear to incite the army's battle frenzy in the Tain Bow, Cooling, Cuailnge, and the Cath Mage, Turid. She is a figure that incites battle and provokes heroes. Although her connection to battle and death is clear, what is the most striking about Bab is her connection to prophecy. Of all the Morgan's guises, it is Bab who repeatedly appears to offer prophecy and warn heroes and gods of what will befall them if they do not change the course of their path. She appears to Queen Mauve in a dream, bringing the news that her son will fall in battle and she must arise to avenge him. In The Courtship of Ferb, she is described as a young woman, a white lady, fair with brilliancy. In the Cathmage Turid, after the Irish gods have defeated their enemies, Bab is asked what she sees. Then, after the battle was won and the slaughter had been cleaned away, the Morrigan proceeded to announce the battle, and that is the reason Bab still relates great deeds. Have you any news? Everyone asked her then. She responds by delivering a prophecy, foretelling peace, followed by troubling times. In Togail Bruidne da Durga, Bab appears to a king who had broken all but one of his magical taboos, usually placed on a hero or king by a goddess. After tricking him into breaking his final taboo, essentially proving his unworthiness to rule, he asks her if she possesses the gift of prophecy, and if so, what does she see? She replies that he will not leave the hostel except for what pieces of his flesh the crows carry away. Her prediction of his death proves true, as he dies the next day. This kind of death prophecy also follows through in her dealing with the hero Cuchulainn, as Cuchulainn traveled to what would be his final battle. Bab appears to him and the druid Cathbad as the washer at the ford, predicting his death. Do you see, little hound? Asked Cathbad, Bab's daughter yonder, washing your spoils and armor. Mournfully, ever sorrowfully, she executes and tells of your fall, when she signifies your defeat before Meb's great host. In fairy lore, we find a whole host of fairy washers at the ford connected to prophecy, most likely inspired by Bab and her habit of washing bloody armor at river fords. If you approached them with kindness, at times these fairies would grant you a wish. Other times they drowned those who ventured too near. Morning. What strikes most people about Bab, as the washer at the ford, is that while she can at times be quite terrifying, when we approach her with an honest desire to release our burdens, she can be quite comforting. She allows us to release pain and trauma. Her waters wash away the blood and renew us so that we may fight on. If you are starting down the path of transformation, chances are there was some kind of catalyst that brought you here. A painful event or realization, or just a vague feeling of dissatisfaction and unhappiness. Or perhaps you know you have to start down the path, but don't want to face the things you need to confront in order to change. Before we can start down the path that leads into the underworld, it's vital that we understand why we are taking the journey in the first place. When I was confronted by the washerwoman and knew I had to end a long-term relationship that had become unhealthy and dissatisfying, it was her capacity to mourn with me that struck me. There were so many things I had to let go of and release into her waters. I had to mourn the loss of the people both he and I were 10 years ago, and accept we were different people now. I had to mourn a future I thought I could have, and the sense that I knew the direction my life was heading. Without fully feeling and mourning these things and accepting them for what they were, I'm not sure I could have taken the next step. Mourning is an essential part of change. We need that opportunity to grieve, to rage and shriek anger and sadness, to release those feelings before we can go do the work that is to come. We are always changing. Sometimes it happens slowly, sometimes it is quick and cutting. A tragic event changes us. A difficult situation teaches us something about ourselves we never realized. Or it's a slow change, almost unnoticeable, but then we stop and realize the person we once were is gone. Think about how you changed from kindergarten to high school, from high school through college, or your early 20s, from your 20s to your 30s, and so on. Think about the major events that have shaped you, including those that are more recent. How have you changed? What parts of you are gone? What parts are you trying to cling to that are really no more? Write them down. This can be a list or a paragraph written out, whatever you like. Spend the next few days or as long as you like mourning the person you were. It can be something simple, a few moments of silence and recognition in front of your altar will do. Decide what the best way of doing this is for yourself and go with what feels right. Devotional work and offerings for Bab. Let me first say that gods can get pissed with you. It happens, trust me. Even through your best intentions, things can get messy or go sideways on you. Bab has certainly helped reshape my life, but there have also been times when I have made a few missteps. Once such a case was a public ritual in her honor. The ritual was sound on paper, but in practice quickly spiraled out of control. A few people didn't fully understand what they were going to do in the ritual, and another, accidentally in the heat of the moment, called on an aspect of her that we had not anticipated drawing in. In the end, it was a mess, and I cut the ritual short, wrapping up in the best way I could in a bad situation. The next day, all hell seemed to break loose. People's energies were off. One person's protective talisman disappeared, and another felt someone running fingers through her hair in the middle of the night when no one was there. We also noted that usually in all our other previous rituals, one of the priestesses involved had been cut by accident and blaming it on clumsiness and offered the blood to Bab on the day of the ritual. That had not happened this time. The day after the ritual, everyone in the ritual went back to the ritual area and left offerings in the river that stood nearby, and a few of us specifically left offerings of our own blood. Since that experience, offering blood has been a regular part of my devotional work to Bab. Blood offerings have a kind of stigma, and some view it as taboo. Using blood as an offering differs from both blood sacrifice and blood magic, although using blood for either of those purposes has been stigmatized as well. If you do choose to offer blood as an offering, whether to Bab or another deity, before you go running to sharpen your athame, there are some considerations to keep in mind. For safety reasons, I personally prefer to use a lancing device. These can easily be found in the diabetic supply section of any pharmacy. While I have used a knife in the past, most of the time a ritual blade or pocket knife is not sanitary, nor is it sharp enough to easily pierce skin. Using a dull or semi-sharp knife can be more dangerous than using a razor-sharp one. If you have to really push hard to cut yourself, you are more likely to do more damage to yourself. Cut too deeply or cut a vital place you don't want to cut. A lancet is safe, sanitary, and disposable. Offering a few drops suffices for my own practices. You really shouldn't need to offer more than that. Another safety concern to keep in mind is your comfort level with piercing your skin. If you are not comfortable with this idea, or if you have had any issues that involve self-harm, you should not be engaging in this kind of offering. There are plenty of other things to offer. Before offering blood, I spend a few moments thinking about the reason I am making the offering. My blood carries my life force, my essence, and that is what I am offering to the deity in question. I am offering a very, very personal part of myself to them in service as gratitude. There is also the element that I understand that things have a cost, sometimes a painful one, and making this kind of offering is a way for me to express that I understand that cost. Another more intense way to offer blood would be by getting a tattoo. This is obviously something you probably are not going to do very often, though. The pieces I have are devotional pieces for certain deities. Before going under the needle, I leave an offering at their altar and offer both the pain and blood of the experience to the deity in question. Hey, sweetie. Oops. Oh, nothing. I'm doing a live, and Brooke is on, and I was reading from my Dark Goddess craft book, and I had. No, it's okay.
Hey, ask her if she just got my call. I just tried to call her a second ago.
He wants to know if you got his call. Michael just tried to call you a second ago, and it didn't go through for some reason, I guess. Give her a minute to answer. But I was, what?
Mama.
What?
You have some surprises coming from your beautiful daughter-in-law, so I need you to, whenever you get a package with her name on it in the mail, and open it until she gets there, okay?
Okay. No problem. Okay. So how are you doing otherwise? You doing okay, honey?
I mean, I just got off of work, and they ran us an extra hour tonight.
Oh, did they? Oh, wow.
A little stressed out, but I'm good.
Good. Yeah, I've been reading from my Dark Goddess craft because I know that I'm already at the point in my life that I need to undergo my own transformation. So by reading it on the live, it helps others that may pop on that, also are due for a transformation in their lives. Letting go of old things, bringing in new, letting go of the old you, bringing in the new you, and all that. And I just got through reading The Washer at the Ford, which is, to some, it may be extremely terrifying to go through, because you're going before Bab, if I'm even saying that right. They spell her name B-A-D-B, but calling her Bad B, it just seems weird to me, so I call her Bab. But
it's probably
Bodbay? You think, maybe?
Probably Bodbay.
Okay, it just seems like a weird spelling, I guess, for me. But, she's the washer at the ford. She's standing in a river of blood. It's the river of life. It's the river of death. It's the river of ancestors. It's the river of, fallen warriors and all that. So it's interesting, but it's scary as hell when you when you first read it. No, she's not. No, she's not answering. She might have had to go to the bathroom or something. But she really seems to like when I read this, parts of it. And I try to do it incrementally. I try to do it in segments. So, because it's a lot to read for one, and my voice starts to break after a certain point, and then, my voice starts sounding funny. And also, it gives your brain a better chance of being able to decipher what's being read to you. But if you read the whole thing through at once, then your brain's going, wait a minute, and it becomes overwhelming. So did you hear me, Brooke, hun? Her phone might have died too. I don't know. Because I know she was having issues today on her live where it seemed like it kept trying to die on her or something. So she may have had to plug it in and charge it.
I'm going to try her again real quick,
okay? Okay, he's going to try you again, hun. So hopefully he'll get through this time, and I'll just pause the rest of this until you guys get done talking, okay? I'll keep the live going. Okay?
Keep going.
Yeah, I will. I love you.
She'll let you know if I get a hold of her.
Okay. Bye, honey. It does this. Ooh! So I'm just going to go ahead and read the rest of this, Brooke. And like I said, don't worry about it. You can always go back through and watch it later, honey. Bab. Okay, leaving an offering to Bab. This is only an example of one way you could go about leaving a personal offering of this nature. Feel free to alter it or find what works best for you. Again, this is something you should be completely comfortable with. If not, you can easily substitute the line, I offer the essence of myself with, I offer whatever it is you are offering instead when leaving an offering to Bab. Battle Crow, Bab, Battle Crow, Banshee, Washerwoman wailing at the ford, I offer you the essence of myself. To you for, and then you write the reason. If you are not making an offering for a specific purpose, such as for helping me overcome XYZ battle, you could say in service to you or in gratitude to you. Evocation to Bab by Karen Storminger. Smoke rises and the darkness falls. Hear the drum beats pounding, our hearts beating in our tightened chests. We call to you, Bab, Phantom Queen. You enter on rushing wings and breath leaves. The connection is made, concussion, collapsing, gasping. Fear, no. Hooded one, you who will not abide, an atmosphere filled with weak-kneed trepidation. We know the choice is always ours to make. Stepping forward, we approach the red-stained waters, white lady, washerwoman, crimson-taloned queen. You who circles round, red-rimmed eyes, piercing through the darkness. Bab, your clawed hands reach out and anchor our unsteadiness. Each of us makes the choice today to accept your gifts, release our fears, and make an oath to you, to ourselves in your presence. Breath returns, uncertainty flees, the pain subsides. Bab, we call to you in the darkness, in the flickering firelight. Bab, we call to you whose wings whisper in the cool, black night. Bab, we call to you as the blood trickles from your clawed hands. Bab, we stand in the water, pools of ruby liquid. Prophetess, come show us the way.
From a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording.
Waters of Bab cleansing.
GTL.
Yeah.
I assume still nothing.
No, and my freaking YouTube it cut itself out again, but it came back on. So I'm not sure what happened. It does that sometimes. Like I'll be in the middle of a live stream and it'll just shut itself off, and it pisses me off when it does.
I'm assuming that she's probably fallen asleep on your live. How long were you live?
I've only been on here maybe about 3 hours, 40 minutes roughly, something like that, according to the little counter thing on the top of the screen.
So she probably got on your live stream right after she got done with her live stream.
Yeah, she might have fallen asleep, and that's okay. Or she might, honey, listen, she might also be writing down like her own ritual or whatever that she can do with Bab if she decides that she's ready for that. So she could be writing that down too. So I don't know, but yeah, she could have fallen asleep.
I'm assuming that she probably fell asleep.
Yeah, poor dear. I know she's been through a lot.
Speaker, she's exhausted.
Yeah.
On speaker.
Yeah. Yeah, you're on speaker. You want me to take it off?
Baby girl, I know you can hear me. I didn't get a chance to talk to you tonight, but it's okay because I know you're going to go back and watch this live again.
Yeah.
Because you go back and watch all my mom's live all the time. So
yeah.
I want you to know that I love you and you are everything to me. And I'm not trying to hijack my mom's live stream to tell you this right now, but you are.
It's okay, honey.
You're my whole world, girl. And whenever you're sad or upset, and whenever the world feels like it's just a little bit too much for you to handle, I want you to come back and I want you to watch this.
Yep.
I want you to hear these words because I know how important it is to you.
Yep.
I know how important we are.
Mm-hmm.
We've been fighting this together for a year and a half.
Yep.
And I look forward to spending the next 50 years with you if I can.
Yep.
I love you, bro. You are the reason that I am the human being that I am today. You are the reason that I am finally
Yep.
I'll never forget you. I'll never turn my back on you. And I'll always be there for you. Just like the rest of my lovely family. We all love you.
And, sometimes, sweetie, this is how me and her just, help each other get through the day, especially with, when things are going crazy stupid. Sometimes I've always told her, and I stand by this. It's like, honey, I said, anytime that, you need me to come on and do a live because you need me to help you get through the day, let me know and I will do it without question. No matter what else I'm doing at the time, I will stop and put that aside because family comes first. Absolutely. So, a lot of times we just,
Hey, I need you to understand how much that means to your son. Because I can't be there for her all the time like I want to.
I know.
She was on time, back to my work.
Yep.
But I appreciate the fact that you can be there for her. Just having someone around with her. I know how much that helps.
Yeah. And, you bet, me. I do anything for family. If it's within my power, I try anyway. I try my best. So, and she's definitely worth it. It took a lot to, bring her into our lives. So it's nice to be able to, have her with us and stuff. I'm glad we found her.
I'm really glad you kind of fell in my lap.
Yep. I told you, I was like, I'll do some spells. We'll see what happens.
Especially when you stop to consider all of the things that, like, I had to be in this prison.
Yep.
I had to be around my dude Toby.
Yep.
And, like, dude, he could have handed her information anyway.
Yep.
But I was the one that was around him and he handed her information.
Yep.
And now look where we are.
Exactly.
And I had the best relationship.
Yep. I mean, everything happens for a reason.
I was talking about her today at work.
Yeah. Aw.
She's my baby girl and I love her. I guarantee you she's asleep because as cheesy as I'm being right now, she would have started cutting into me, being like, she wouldn't call me a cheesy bastard. She would call me a cheesy bastard. She used her fucking crown for that one.
Yeah.
She used her fucking crown. But hey, I'm going to get off.
Okay, hon.
Say my piece. Thank you, Mama.
You bet.
I love her.
Yep.
And I know that she's going to watch this probably tomorrow. And I'll
Oh,
probably
yeah.
hear about this tomorrow.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's good. It's good. Change is good, but sometimes it's not easy, But hey, that's what we're here for, is to learn and grow, right? So.
Although I can say this, I really do wish that my voice was enough to wake her up.
Oh, I'm sure it's very soothing to her, too.
I've put her to sleep a few times.
Oh, yeah, I have to. And that's good because that means that she's comforted. She knows that she's not alone anymore. That she's got us now. She's got more, a nice family that loves her just the way she is. None of us are perfect. We have our problems. We have our faults, but we get by, we get through it, and we just got to keep loving each other and learning to love ourselves, so we can be a good family and stay together. Yep. Yep. Yeah.
On the plus side, we've got the 23rd. 5 more days in the wake up before she's open there with you guys.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I sped up time again. That's why it's going so fast.
You guys, stop that. You keep slowing my fucking time down.
Okay. No, I only did it the once and it was several days ago. So, I'm sorry that's affecting you that way, honey.
Feeling it.
I'm sorry. That is not what I wanted to happen.
It's all right. I'm glad that you were able to be with her. I'm sorry that I missed you.
Oh, that's all right. Oh, that's okay. We were sitting out back earlier because it's been so nice today. And tomorrow it's gonna be back to cold and yucky again. So, You know, we was only out there about a handful of minutes because it was pretty windy and still kind of is, but we still got the window open here in the living room and it's comfortable. You know, it's like summer. It's like, yay, a day of summer. Oh, cool. Well, that's good. It's good that you guys can get some outside air. Because I wasn't sure, you know, how the cells were or anything.
I'm gonna get called a fat fucker for this by her, I'm sure, but I've got 2 ice cream stones in my bag right now, so I'm gonna get on her. So
Okay, honey. Okay. All right.
Ice cream, chips, and sandwiches, that's healthy, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I love you guys.
Love you too, honey.
And I love you, golfing girl. Love you, baby girl.
Thank you for using GTL.
Okay. This is something I do quite often and sometimes use as a type of morning devotional when I wish to connect to Bab. It can be used as a daily cleansing ritual and a way to connect more deeply with Bab and her energies. In the morning before a ritual or whenever you choose, anoint yourself with some salt. I usually anoint my brow and my heart. Using salt is not strictly necessary, but I like to use it to add an extra cleansing level. I use salt for cleansing in general and even carry the salt packs you'd find in fast food restaurants in my purse for times when I need to ground quickly and for those unforeseen magical emergencies when you need some protection or cleansing. For this cleansing, I like to use bath salts that have been mixed with a few drops of essential oils. They tend to have a kind of sticky quality to them and allow the mixture to stick to the skin easily as you anoint yourself. If you choose, you can easily draw a sigil or symbol on your skin with the salt and oil mixture. Alternatively, you can put some table salt in a bowl and add a few drops of water to it, stirring it around to get the same consistency. Once you have anointed yourself, go into the shower, washing yourself with the salt and whatever else you choose. Alternatively, you can do this in the bathtub if you like, although I like the feeling of the running water of the shower to replicate the sensation of rushing river water. See yourself standing in Bab's River, the river that holds all life. See the waters washing over you. Let them take away the things you wish to cleanse yourself of until you see yourself glowing with light, cleansed and full of energy. Thank Bab or say any words you wish to say to her. A ritual of release. You will need a large bowl, water, cranberry juice or wine, pen, and pieces of paper. Place a bowl of water on your altar. Hold your hands over it and see it as the river of the washerwoman. You could even put a few drops of wine or cranberry juice in it to make it red tinged. On a piece of paper, write the aspects of your life that you want to let go of, or simply the parts of me that are no more. If it's more than one thing, tear off each thing as you write it and place the pieces of water in the bowl of water. Place the pieces of paper in the bowl of water. Say whatever feels appropriate in these or other words. Bab, Lady of Prophecy, Lady of the River of Life and Death, Red-mouthed Bab who weaves the fates of heroes, Washer at the ford who guards our deaths. I recognize the parts of myself that are gone, that are no more. I mourn. I honor what I have been, and I let it go. When you are done, pour the water outside, dispose of the paper, or let it dry out and then burn it. Bab's ritual bath. You will need 1 tablespoon of dried juniper berries, 1 cup of dried hibiscus flowers, 1 tablespoon of dried mugwort, 1 tablespoon of dried wormwood, 1 gallon of purified water, 1 tablespoon of black salt, 1/4 cup of white salt or Celtic gray salt, 5 drops of sandalwood essential oil, 1/4 cup of lemon juice. I find that bathing can be used as an effective mode of ritual preparation. It is a good chance to shed everything that is not essential to the ritual or anything that is not meant to be brought into sacred space. We enter sacred space as all aspects of our complete selves. However, we also sometimes carry residual energy or heaviness from other stressors in life, other people, and so on. It's important to clear that away before we can fully bring all that we are and only what we are to where we must be bare. Bathing can also be relaxing and meditative and help prepare the appropriate headspace for ceremony. Using a large pot, combine the juniper, hibiscus, mugwort, and wormwood with a gallon of purified water. Bring the herbs to a boil and then remove the brew from the heat. Cover the pot and let the herbs steep until they are warm to the touch. Filter out all of the larger particles. Draw a bath and add the filtered tea, salts, essential oil, and lemon juice. Before bathing, visualize the Black River. Bad buzz healing waters. Hear the stream rushing, smell the aquatics and herbs mingled with otherworldly greenery, and then slowly step into the bath, feeling yourself step into a gurgling river to be cleansed. Bab's protective amulet. You will need one small wooden disc, about 2 inches in diameter, a disc cut from a thick tree branch and sanded smooth is preferable, wood burner, rotary tool, or fine point, permanent black marker, clear epoxy or hot glue, one small tumbled jet stone, one small rough garnet, one small tumbled smoky quartz, acrylic art sealant. On one side of the wooden disc, draw or otherwise inscribe a symbol that you most associate with Bab. Above the Ogam, OGHAM for protection, Lewis, Rowan, or Negatol, broom. Otherwise, a sigil of your own creation would also work if you so desire. Draw a triskel on the other side of the disc and glue the 3 stones onto the 3 points of formation. Optionally seal the wood to make it moisture resistant. The amulet can be wrapped and strung into a necklace to be worn, or simply keep it on your person or hidden somewhere in your home for protection. Okay, and that is that one, and I will stop there. So, sweetie, if you have in fact fallen asleep, it's okay. I'm glad I was able to, bring you enough comfort that you could fall asleep. I know that you probably didn't hear a lot of what Michael said, but, short version, he loves you. He will continue to keep improving himself so that he can be the best man that you would ever want to be with, the best version of himself. We all love you as you are. And in 5 days, you'll finally be home here with us. And we will definitely try to make the most, utilize the time the most efficiently we can. And when you do your own ritual and you undergo your own transformation, I would love to hear about it. But if you want to wait until, write it in a letter and send it to me or something, that's fine. Because if something like that's personal enough that you probably shouldn't be including it on a live, because we don't know who might view this, so better safe than sorry, right? So we love you. Good night. Blessed be you and the boys. Love you, love you, love you. See you next live. 5 days. We're down to almost 5 days. When midnight hits our time, which it is midnight your time, then we're down to 5 days. So you'll be here before you know it. Bye for now, babe. Baby girl. He calls you baby girl. Bye for now, my lovely Rose. I'll just say that.